This is the Wise Guy Radio Show, a podcast dedicated to educating and inspiring through conversations with today's top talents in the world of glass. We will be dissecting their journeys in hopes to deliver actionable content that you, the artist, can start implementing now, helping you grow not only as a creative spirit, but also a successful artistic entrepreneur. With a little organization, relationship building, and your artistic ability, you can obtain greatness. Climb aboard, whether an artist, retail owner, or enthusiast. We have a ton of fun in store for you. Welcome to the Wise Guy Radio Show.
You're listening to the Wise Guy Radio Show.
This episode of the Wise Guy Radio Show is brought to you by Mountain Glass Arts. For the month of January 2019, Mountain Glass has their monthly Boros sale. They have 45% off Pyrex, no coupon code required for that one. And for all you beautiful soft glass nerds, they have their monthly soft glass sale. 35% off Effetre. Just put in the coupon code Effetre. That's E-F-F-E-T-R-E. And don't forget to check out Mountain Glass constantly for all their weekly sales, as well as kiln sales and everything else going on at Mountain Glass. Any events, anything else going on, or questions or comments or concerns, just contact Mountain Glass at mountainglass.com. That's mountainglass.com. Hey, what's happening? Welcome to the Wise Guy Radio Show, episode number 207. This is your host, Jason Michael, and thank you so much for tuning in today. For those listening to this as this comes out on January 1st, 2019, Happy New Year. Hope this year is going to be super kick-ass as we reflect on the last year of 2018 and start to focus onward now in 2019. Hopefully this year does not go by as fast as last year, because I don't know about you, but last year seemed like it was about a month long. It was ridiculous. And I know we're all busy, constantly doing things, which does help make time go by fast. But hopefully it does slow down a little bit and get a better pace this year and not get overwhelmed with so much going on. And that being said, today's episode is a new one featuring Jake Szymanski. He is a overall rounded glass artist. He's been working with glass for about 6 years now or so, and he does everything from scientific glass blowing, which he does for a full-time job. He works in a hot shop and also is a lamp worker, pipe maker. And we get into all of those areas of his education background, from Salem and everything else that he's gone through the process of being a glassblower. This also was a fun chat. Him and I have been chit-chatting back and forth for about a month or two now, trying to get him on the show, and timing-wise and technical issues on my end, etc. I don't know about you, those that have the new iPhone with that does not have a headphone jack, has that adapter bullshit thing. Because I use my phone a lot for Skype for the recordings, and I lost that little adapter, and it's like out of sight, out of mind, and keep forgetting to go buy a new one. And so I just figured I would start using Skype, and Skype now officially has a new beta test they're running online that you can actually use it on their website that's high def. And so we busted it out today, and Jake sounds really good on the show. Definitely appreciate having him on. And again, we kind of went all over the place. We got sidetracked and took all kind of different paths and turns, and kind of a fun theming of the show, though. So we had a good chat. Also, we covered some topics of things that happened this year in the world of glass, from the Corning glass barge to the gas conference over in Italy this year, and then coming to St. Pete, Florida here this year in 2019, which is my hometown, and I'm super excited that they are coming there, and I would definitely be there for that. And then just kind of overall, just the ideas of being a well-rounded glass artist and glass blower, sculptor, whatever you want to call yourself. Those that have listened to the show a lot, I always do preach about really understanding your medium and taking one step at a time as you learn this process, and not just being a one-trick pony. And again, there's nothing wrong with being a one-trick pony per se, but if that's all what you want to do, like if you want to be a rig maker or make a pendants or whatever it is, as long as you have a super strong fundamental understanding of what it is you're making, then it's all good in my book. However, I do recommend, though, that you do understand glass in general, so then you can make all kind of things that you want to make and not just be pigeonholed into one little niche of that area of art. So I definitely recommend, just expanding your horizons and views and perspectives and trying different things out. yeah, so there you go. Some fun things going on. I went on to Mountain Glass's website, seeing if they had updated their sales for January. They have not yet, so I'm going to have to record a little intro commercial ads in the morning before this goes out, just to make sure I got you up to date. So you're listening to this, and I'm just talking out loud here. It'll be updated already, so you'll hear them at the very beginning. But don't forget, Mountain Glass is closed for this day of New Year's Day. They'll be reopened on Wednesday, back to regular schedule with them, and they have a ton of sales and fun stuff going on out there. Also, the newest Flow magazine issue came out, which is fantastic. They published my fourth episode, or article, I should say, in my series on So You Want to Be a Glassblower, which is, again, is such an honor to be published in an editorial sense that coincides with this podcast. It's definitely a lot of fun, and it's the first time ever that I've been published, and to be published in a magazine like the Flow, it's definitely... It's amazing. And this recent episode, or I keep wanting to call it an episode, their recent issue that they have is also incredible stuff. I mean, just the pictures alone, if you ever want to really learn and see what high-quality photos look like for glass, the Flow is a great reference point to see. Just the photography alone is incredible. But they also have a ton of tutorials in there that are step-by-step, that are done by other glass artists that will share things from, making pendants. It all really depends on what the particular issue is that you're have in hand. And it's just pretty cool seeing it. And this year was this last one they just had out was the 14th annual Gallery of Women in Glass. And it's just amazing. We've had Sabina Boehm on the show. She has a tutorial on there. Nikki Knight, Dina Kalahar, Bronwyn Heelman, Susan Hansen, and then again Sabina Boehm. Just phenomenal. And even just like the cover photo is this incredible, amazing chandelier that has a glass corset at the very top, and there's leaves and birds. I mean, it's incredible. So, it's proud. It makes me proud to see women in our industry getting the recognition that they're getting, because in like the pipe world, it's always been very burly, manly, kind of deals, and then the females started to come in and get involved, the lace faces and what have you, and as that part of our community grew, it stopped being so much about the burly, beefy glassblower, and it's now an overall amazing network of a community of talented, amazing artists of all races and sexes and backgrounds and religions and everything. And that one thing we have in common is this passion for this amazing medium of glass that we all love and hate at the same time. So again, if you have not yet subscribed to the Flow magazine, I recommend that you do. It's a quarterly magazine that comes out. And by quarterly, I mean every 3 months you'll get a new issue in the mail. They also have a digital version you can get. But if you have not yet subscribed to the Flow, you can go and subscribe today at theflowmagazine.com. And make sure you use promo code WISEGUY. It'll save you 10% off your annual subscription. And WiseGuy is WYZGUY at checkout. And I'll have their links in the show notes too for that. And I highly recommend it. I prefer to actually have it in my hand instead of just a digital copy. It's fun to be able to show people physically what's going on in the world of glass. Sure, you can use your phone if you want, but there's just nothing like holding a magazine and getting to show that. Excuse me. So, what else is going on? I don't know. It's been 2018 was interesting. Something I definitely wanted to talk about, and which if you have not yet listened to my Wise Guy Radio Minutes, the last episode I did was all about your why. And I said it was episode 5. I'm actually going to be changing that. I got to redo the small intro because it was actually episode 4. Episode 5 of the Wise Guy Radio Minute is going to be about reflection and looking back on the past year of 2018. I know a lot of folks out there in the world of business and entrepreneurs and stuff are all about setting goals and what have you. And yes, that's important. And but as we all know, New Year's resolutions typically don't really follow through. None of us really do. The gyms that have memberships, their memberships go through the roof for the first 3 months, and then people that were members are still paying for it, but they stop going. And, that can go for anything that we do in life. And what it has to do with really is just changing mindset and lifestyle, whatever it is, and routines. And if you look back on your past year and you had some potential issues in certain areas of your life or in the studio, look back and reflect on the routines and the habits and things that you did that might be the cause for those issues, or those routines and habits that you did that were actually positive, that had a positive impact on your work or on your sales. For instance, with Instagram right now and the way the algorithms are working, it's almost imperative that you post at least once a day, sometimes twice a day, just to make sure your followers are seeing your work. There's millions and millions of people on Instagram. You may not have that many followers. You may have 1,000. You may have, like I've got 10,000 followers. You may have 25,000 followers. But if you're not posting every day, those followers aren't seeing your stuff on a regular basis. And those are the kind of habits and routines that you can kind of pick up upon yourself. And there's also apps out there that you can automate things that will help with those habits and routines. But it's important. Keeping a schedule, keeping a calendar, checking your bank account, making sure your books are up to date with your business. We are now at the end of this, or beginning of 2019, which means that taxes are coming up soon, which is our favorite thing to talk about. All these things are super important just to make sure that you're always on top of and paying attention. And myself, I preach about it all the time, and I've been slowly implementing these things into my life myself. I know if I do it all at once, nothing's going to get done. So I've just been slowly creating new routines and habits. And that's really how it is. You can't just do it all at once. You can't lose 10 pounds in a week unless you don't eat anything. And even then, you probably won't lose the weight. You probably gain more weight because you're in starvation mode. So think about it. Think about the baby steps. Think about things you can do in your life that you can every day implement something small. Even if it's the same thing that the something small is, if you do it for 2-3 weeks. I don't really know the exact number, but I think they say it takes about 40 days or something. There's a weird number that it takes for you to somewhat have a routine or habit. To have a routine or habit set in stone, in a sense, that becomes a part of your daily occurrence. Think about pooping. If you poop the same time every day, your body knows it. And it's 10 o'clock at night, and that's the same time you poop every day. If you're sleeping, you're probably going to get woken up because you got to go there and take a dump. And it's a silly thing to talk about, but it's the fucking truth. It's the way our body works. Our body is amazing, and it understands routines and habits. Getting up at the same time every day is important. Even if you go to bed different times every night, getting up every day at the same time is huge. Getting up earlier in the day is a pretty good thing to do because you can accomplish more things in the morning. Even though I know a lot of us are night owls, which for some is good, for some it's not. Depends on your brain chemistry and your makeup and your habits and your lifestyle and everything else. But just think about that. Think about, again, reflecting on this past year. And I'm going to get in more depth again on this with my Wise Guy Radio Minute, along with a little bit of a little PDF you can download to write some stuff down and things to reflect upon that you can have right in front of your face. Maybe put it next to your mirror in your bathroom so you see it every day. And just kind of a daily routine habit checklist thing that you can start building upon to, be the best you. That's what part of my goal with this show is helping you become the best you, as well as helping myself become the best me. Because as I talk about these things and share these things with you, these are life lessons and things that I'm learning and also implementing into my life as well. So there you go. Nice little ramble for you. So I'm going to bounce out of here. Got to go edit the show down. And then in the morning, I'll throw those ads in for Mountain Glass for their updated sales that they're doing, which hopefully they go out tomorrow morning, even though they're closed. Sorry, I keep yawning. I just had my my interview, and I got to do some jumping jacks and move around to get this CO2 out of my lungs. Otherwise, I'm going to keep yawning. So that being said, don't forget again to go check out mountainglass.com for all their sales updates. Any questions, comments, concerns you have with them, sign up for their newsletter. If you haven't registered with Mountain Glass, just create an account. When you put your email in there, they will then be able to send you updates and stuff on what's going on with all their sales, as well as what I talk about here on the show. Also, the Flow Magazine. Go check out theflowmagazine.com. sign up for their annual subscription, and again, use the code WiseGuy, and that'll help you save 10% on your annual subscription. The Patreon page, I'm continuing to add content for there, and would love to grow our community on there. And for as little as $1 a month, you can come on there and become part of our community, which is only $12 a year. I'm sure most of you spend that on a cup of coffee twice a week, which I know I do sometimes. If you're in the $5 group, you get access to all of our past podcast episodes, which are not available on iTunes anymore. They've only 100 episodes at a time are available. So the first 105 or so are available through the Patreon page. And then if you're in the $10 tier, you now have access to all kind of content and videos and stuff that I am continuously putting up there. The recent one I just did last month was just one way and how to make a candy cane in glass. So this year, coming this month, I've got more tutorials, Dragon Wings tutorials, like all kind of fun stuff, as well as wrapping up all the last-minute content that I have for the online channel, as well as our YouTube show coming up here, which is going to be launching in 2 weeks, and I'll talk more about that on the next episode too. So stay tuned for that. I'm going to go ahead and put the link for the YouTube channel in the show notes so you guys have that. I don't actually know it off the top of my head right now. I have like 3 different YouTube channels that are based on my Gmail accounts, and one for the Wise Guy media page will be the one we use for the YouTube channel. And that's going to have the series I'm going to be doing with that, just as a little side thing real quick, is going to be for anybody and everybody who's ever wanted to be a glass blower. And every week I'm going to be putting up an episode, about 15-minute long episode, that's going to cover all those topics, everything from getting started, where to find materials, how to set up your studio, basic beginning things to start making, and even questioning whether or not you should actually get into glass blowing or not. You know, as much fun as it sounds, it isn't for everybody. So stay tuned again for that. I'm going to do a full intro on this topic here in a future episode once I have all my ducks in a row for that. So again, if you want to help support this show, this podcast, because this does cost me a little bit of money every month, just go to patreon.com/WiseGuyRadio. Become a wise ass. The tier $1, you get some little goodies as well from me, which I have officially ordered and will be on the way, and I'll be shipping those out to those who have signed up and joined. And until next time, hope you guys enjoy this episode with Jake. Again, you can find Jake on Instagram at Jake Spins Glass, all one word. Again, his links also are in the show notes. And until next time, stay hydrated and stretch and do lots of good healthy stuff. And happy melting. Have a wise day. Love you all so much. Talk to you soon. Peace. What's going on, Jake? Welcome to the show.
Hey, what's up, man? Thank you very much for having me.
Yeah, man. It's been, as most episodes happen, it takes 4 or 5 times to connect and get things rolling. And here we are now, like 10 years later, finally fucking recording.
Hell yeah, New Year's Eve, too. Fuck yeah.
Yeah. So you'll be here in 2019. This will be airing on the 1st of January, so you're number 1 for the year. And stoked to have you on because you're a multi-talented glass maker of all sorts and what have you. And I'm excited to talk about all facets of glass with you, whether hot shop or lamp worker, or talking about beer like we just were, or whatever. So we'll see how this goes. So it'll probably be off the rails many times, and I'll try to keep it on track. And until I get way off track here, let's go ahead and get you started by you sharing us your superhero origin story and how you're introduced to the flame.
All right, fucking superhero origin story. Yeah, I was so I grew up here in like South Jersey, in the swamps, bunch of farmland, and there's a place called Wheaton Village or Wheaton Arts there in Millville, probably about like 45 minutes of where I'm from. And I was probably about like 12, 13 years old, and I was going there on the weekends for probably about a year or two, maybe year and a half. And I would just like watch them. This is all hot shop too, and I would just watch them blow glass. I had no idea what pipe making was then. I like didn't even know what fucking glass was. You know, I was one of those kids who was like, "Oh, is that the color glass you always work? You know, it's like orange." And
that's funny. I hear it all the time.
But yeah, right. But yeah, they ended up like I was a little gopher after a little while because they're like, oh, you're here all the time. Can't legally get you on the floor. I mean, I guess I probably shouldn't say that, but anyway, I was like running around grabbing Frit, helping him out, and after a while, it wasn't there. For probably about 2 years, didn't really get like seek into glass again, but was always interested in it, always on like Tumblr, scrolling down and Reddit, scrolling through glass pages, and I started smoking weed, and I got into fucking pipes, and I saw Craven Glass for the first time. I was probably about 15, 16 years old, and I was like, what the fuck? Like, these pipes are fucking sweet, and then really dove into it, started looking into glass schools, and graduated high school, went to Salem Community College, and here I am. Yeah.
Hell
Been
yeah.
blowing glass for about 5 years on the torch. I have a scientific glass job now, which is cool. Yeah, I don't really know. I mean, I'm in the hot shop now, so I've been working in the hot shop for a year now. I've taken 2 semesters. I'm going to be a TA next semester, which
Nice.
is cool.
So
And,
is that in school that you're doing the hot shop?
Yeah. I didn't get good grades in high school. I pretty much almost failed my senior year, and I wanted to go to school for hot shop. I was looking at some universities, and my guidance counselor at the time, she was like, yeah, Jake, there's no way you're going to get into a university. Like, you know what I mean? Your grades are awful. Your SAT scores were terrible. And I'm like, well, I don't know what the fuck I'm going to do then. And then she's like, well, go to Salem Community College. You get in-state tuition. It's 10 minutes down the road from your house. They have scientific glass program. They have art program. So I went for the art program, and, I took like a bead making class with Amy Lemaire, she's a phenomenal person, awesome glass blower too. And I just was like, you know what, I don't really want to do this. I want to make pipes. I want to fucking make pipes. So I dropped out of school, started making pipes, kind of learning myself with my homie Shipley on his back porch. And yeah, and then I went back to school, failed some classes and shit.
Oh, I'm losing you. You
Can
there?
you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you now. You're back. So you started, yeah, so you dropped out of school, started making pipes, and that was where I lost you. Hey, actually,
Yeah,
1 second,
and,
dude, real quick. My garbage man just dropped by my house here.
Oh yeah,
I don't know if you can hear him or not.
Yeah, I totally can. Sounds like a rocket ship.
Yeah. All of our garbage trucks are all run on like hydrogen or some shit. Like literally sounds like a rocket ship. They're like eco-friendly, but yeah, you hear them like whizzing down the street. It's crazy. The recycling one's the same way.
For a second.
Yeah, it's insane. He's gonna do a
That's
U-turn
fun.
and then come right back by, and then we'll be golden.
Yeah, we got like a weird alley where we have to take our trash out here. They like drive down this like dirt path through the neighborhood. It's really strange.
Yeah, I had an old house I used to live in was the same way, but we had like the giant garbage cans, so like 2 neighbors would share that 1 can kind of thing.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, except for our neighbor was always filling it up.
Classic, right there.
Oh yeah, totally. All right, almost. Here he comes. I should go out there and record it and make it like use it for like a sound effect or something.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. Superhero story, and then right
Yeah,
there.
Exactly. Here comes the garbage truck. Come on. Yeah, it always figures whenever I hit record, like a jackhammer will start across the street or something stupid.
That's the way of the road right there.
Oh man, it never ceases to fail.
Damn, that thing is fucking loud.
Yeah, it says hydraulic hybrid on the side of it.
Damn.
It's crazy. So anyways, so you're saying, yeah, so you're, I guess it's back up to when you dropped out of school and then you started making pipes.
Yeah. So I did some art classes and stuff, and then I started the scientific. I took there's 4 classes of scientific, so it's only a 2-year program, 4 semesters. So I took the first one, and then after that I dropped out and I moved to Philly. I had already been making pipes for like, I don't know, like 2.5 years at that time, 2 years. I wasn't ready to do that though. You know what I mean? It was a pretty big jump. I was selling glass, I was doing my thing. I was making money, not really managing it well. I was kind of young and just trying to do the damn thing, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, I realized, I want to go back and get this fucking degree. Getting older, I kind of want to dwell more into glass. I don't want to just be a pipe maker. You know what I mean? It was the scene's so saturated. I was just getting really distraught with like where I was seeing myself in 5 years from that moment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And came back. I just graduated like last month, so
Nice.
fucking yeah. But I've had a scientific job now for a year, which is pretty cool, and been diving into the hot shop like I've wanted to since the get-go, you know what I mean? And I'm very grateful to be able to have that opportunity at the school. And my job paid for my last semester. Like, they paid for my art class and my scientific shit. So
Nice. Hell yeah.
yeah, really, really fucking grateful for that. And yeah, here I am. I'm just fucking blowing glass, man. I get anxiety when I'm not blowing glass. Like, if I sit down for a day, I'm like, what the fuck am I gonna do with myself right now? You know?
Yeah, man, I'm the same way. I start getting antsy. You know, it's like
Yeah.
I work a lot at Disney, but like even at home, like right now I don't have any oxygen. It's been a pain in the ass getting gas at my house, and I'm just like, fuck, I got people waiting for shit. I want to work.
Yeah, true that, man.
Even if they're
I've
not
been-
waiting, I still want to.
Yeah, right. I fucking been looking into high volume oxygen recently.
Yeah. I'm actually going to be bringing Oxygen Frog back on the show to talk about some of the newer stuff that he's come out with lately. I know there's a couple different brands and companies out there. I had Scott on the show 2 years ago, and
Nice.
yeah, so just because he's local here in Florida, so I wanted to kind of keep him on as my go-to in a sense. But the dude's super knowledgeable. But yeah, man, it's amazing. Like my brother just dropped some money on a system for himself at his house. And he's like, dude, I'm 26 and I'll never have to buy oxygen again. I'm like, yeah, I'm fucking jealous, dude.
Yeah, that's why I want to do it now before it's like almost too late. I guess it's like I don't know. I want to be able to pay it off within a couple years and be like, cool, I can blow glass, not worry about oxygen ever.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I know a couple of those companies will finance it, and I think that they understand the pipe makers, glass artists don't always have the best credit per se. So I kind of wonder how they work that out, you know.
Yeah, I was talking to the HVO people, and I guess they have a link. They have a connection with North Star. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
I'd have to like read the email, but North Star does a financing thing for you too.
Nice.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty interesting.
Yeah, I have to check that out for sure, because that'd be something interesting to just to bring up on the show to talk about.
Yeah, for sure.
For those that need it, because you know it's like I used to pay back in the day I was paying like $12 for a tank, and then I started paying 18, and then went to 25, and now this like local company, and they're a mom and pop, so they're small, but they're like $35 a fill for a small K tank. You know, it's like
Damn.
and I can't complain because I've had other artists on that live like in Hawaii and Alaska, and they're paying like $100 for a fucking tank.
For a K tank?
Oh, dude, yeah. If you go back and listen to,
my God.
yeah, go back and listen to some of the episodes. Yeah, it's
Jesus Christmas. What the fuck?
yeah, it's crazy, right? Yeah, Jupiter Nielsen, I had him on, and he was talking about like just like the liquid oxygen's insane, and just by chance, man, he was somewhere. I don't know if it was at dinner or at a Starbucks or whatever, but he was talking about with another glass artist about the prices of gas or something like that, and just by chance, some dude was next to him, and he started talking to him about it and about the prices, and the guy ended up being like, I think he was like the vice president for Airgas. Some shit like that.
Shit.
And somehow, you know, through the conversation, Jupiter kind of, you know, let them know what they're dealing with, and the guy cut all their prices in half over there. I mean, they're still paying an arm and a leg, but they're not paying, you know, 2 arms and 2 legs anymore.
Yeah, right. That's fucking stellar. That's a nice connection to have.
Yeah, it was pretty interesting. It's like you never know who you're talking to kind of story, you know, kind of thing.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I think I'm paying. Me and my shopmates, we're paying like $120 a tank for liquid. And then it's like $67 a month for rent. I'm pretty sure. So it's not that bad, honestly, compared to these prices you're telling me right now. Like, holy shit.
Do they have you get? Because I know, like my old oxygen place, they would have it to where if I can get the tank back before the end of the month, they wouldn't actually charge me the rent. So I'd have like a 2-day or 3-day leeway. Was always nice.
No, they hit us with it no matter what.
Yeah, right on.
Yeah. I mean, it is what it is. We go through a tank a month, pretty much. You know, we all have full-time jobs, so it's like. I'm only in the studio. I work 4/10s, so I'm in the studio Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Okay.
I don't really have time to get in there after work, man. It's like I wake up at 5 in the morning, I get home at 6 at night, and then you know I gotta be up. I go to bed at like 9:30. But it's nice to just get those 4 days out of the way, and then I have 3-day weekend where I can be in the studio fucking 10 hours a day if I want, or you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's killer. Yeah, man. So with the scientific job, so you go from Salem, you get your degree, you get out, and now you got this job, which you had, I guess, while you were still in school. So, like, in terms of the stuff you're doing, like, what kind of What kind of scientific glass are you making?
Yeah, so it's not really apparatus work. Like, you know, like all these other apparatus companies where I'm making like distillation, like short path distillation stuff and reactor units and stuff like that. We make a lot of we do a lot of Kovar, like glass to metal sealing, and a lot of like gradient seals, which is really interesting. They don't teach that at the school because it's too expensive to teach. Which I'm actually pretty grateful to also have that glass skill set under my belt now. But yeah, it's cool. We make stuff for CT machines, dental X-ray machines. I'm pretty sure like other X-ray machines. There's a guy there that makes these glass to metal gradient lasers and shit that ship out to Japan. It's fucking
Wild.
Dude, yeah, they're insane looking. And then we have a quartz room. They make little tiny parts and fuel injectors and stuff. I know I don't make them, but I know we make little parts that go inside of what are they called? Night vision goggles for the military.
Huh.
So yeah, I actually just found that out at our work party before the holiday. I was like, damn, I didn't know we did that shit.
That's cool.
So yeah, it's actually interesting stuff, you know. And dude, South Jersey is kind of a mecca for scientific glass jobs. There's like 10 glass houses around here.
Huh, interesting.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool spot. I mean, it's dead. Like I said, it's the armpit of America.
Yeah.
We're living down here in the fucking swamp, but it's pretty barren area. But I don't know. I grew up here. I'm pretty used to it.
Yeah, but man, it's just it's badass. So just a bill like you said, it's a blessing to have what you have. You know, the opportunity to make a living and have a job that's a 9 to 5, and even though you're doing 10-hour shifts, but you know, still it's pretty badass, especially right out of school, man. It's like nowadays,
yeah, it's fun, man. Yeah,
it's not that easy.
No, for sure, and it's like I'm grateful to have this job. You know what I mean? I honestly never saw myself doing that. You know, I want to be an artist one day. I want to just fucking be able to quit my job and do my own fucking thing and be me. You know what I mean? Make my own schedule, work my own time, and make what I want to make. But you know, I just gotta, you know, you only live one life. Why not experience it all, right?
Oh yeah, man. And having done that myself for like 13 years before I got my gig at the Mouse House, I definitely appreciate having something that's regimented now, where I have a schedule. This is what I do, and I know what's going in, what's going out. You know what I mean? Instead of just that always like, okay, who am I going to call today? Or you know, it's especially right now, the pipe industry is in such I bring it up all the time. It's in such a weird flux. And personally, not having myself involved with it, because I haven't made a pipe in almost a year now. So which has been interesting for myself personally. But that being said, for those that are involved in the industry, it's volatile as hell right now.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. It's like since I had this job, to be honest, I haven't really focused too much on my marketing and making sales like left and right. Whenever I'm in the studio, I'm still making pipes. I love making pipes. Don't get me wrong. You know, that's honestly every time I hop on the torch, I'm like, what am I gonna make today? And then next thing you know, I got a rig in the kiln or like, you know, some spoons or something, just having a fun day.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I noticed I did auctions for a while, and I still do auctions every once in a while. But when I post like one-off pieces, I've been sitting on shit since May. You know what I mean? And I don't really hit up shops anymore. I don't really want to sit there and do proto on my weekend after doing proto at my job all week. So it's like, I don't know. I give pipe makers props. Like, full-time pipe makers, it's a hard fucking living, man. Especially like you were saying, the market's pretty saturated, I feel like, you know.
Yeah, and I think though, like with, you know, I bring my brother up just because just for my reference, because he's kind of my connection right now to the industry, and like he's been in this now for 7-8 years, and he's still doing production, and he talks to these new glass blowers that come into these studios that he's working out of, and they're like, they can make rigs, but they can't push a bowl or pull a point or make a spoon. And it's like, I think it's gonna like, and I preach about it all the time in the show. Is just everybody needs to go back to like the basic fundamentals to really understand it. You know, because like with the way technology's going and the new digital stuff and the electronic devices. I mean, Puffco was awesome to create this device that holds a glass rig. You know, so now you got to, you know, and in your sense, you know, you being a scientific glass blower, you can understand the principles of what it takes to make something like that and to have it fit another, you know, container in a sense. But if you don't have those basic fundamentals, then you're going to be fucking lost. You're not going to really understand what you need to go, what direction, what move to make, whatever, to get to the point to where you can make something that's going to adapt to where the future of this industry is going. Because with the medical field, I mean, it's still so the Wild West. I mean, in Florida, they're just now trying to figure out the legalization, with medical here, but also to get the flowers on board. We've had tinctures and oils and stuff, but it's just kind of weird. And then the laws that we're going to be dealing with, potentially the pipes in this area. Like I've been talking to a couple of friends of mine who are involved in the industry right now with medical marijuana, and they're concerned for the pipe maker here because they may not be able to sell pipes, or the smoke shops in a sense legally might get to a point to where they can't sell these fucking pipes because the dispensaries are going to be the only ones that can sell them. But then the dispensaries can't sell the pipes; they have to give them away as like a dispensary using device. You know what I mean? It's this weird kind of it's just weird. A lot of really weird gray area right now in this whole industry. Colorado seems to have it figured out, but even Colorado is still, every glass blower in the world moved to Colorado, so now they're like, super saturated.
No, yeah, for sure. I mean, I was talking to a buddy the other day, and I don't know how you feel about this, and I don't know how like people listening would feel about this, but I have a feeling that if weed gets legal, across the board, medical or recreational, whatever, I have a feeling it'll hurt the pipe industry more, to be honest, because I feel like there's going to be a heavier influx of import glass. All of these shops I feel like there's going to be more shops popping up, and like more people are going to want to be blowing glass. And which is, I think everybody should fucking blow glass, but I don't know. I feel like it could hurt the market even more than where it's at right now.
Yeah, what my biggest thing with the import stuff right now, because like for instance, the new tariffs and taxes that are being initiated right now, stuff coming in from China and whatever, it's expensive now to have stuff brought in, and like even so much so like with my company where I work at the Mouse House. We're stopping the use of the Chinese glass, and I love this stuff just because of the different diameters that we can get, but it's expensive to get it in, and it's not cost effective for us. So we're talking to like Abe over at North Star to see about getting custom batches made of certain sizes, of certain types of colors that we need that we work on a regular basis with, just because the imports and the tariffs are expensive. So I'm but I know that at the same time, I'm not going to bring up any names, but companies that have been importing their quote unquote American made glass for years, I don't know how they're getting it across and not having to pay that tax and then making it still cost effective enough for them to still do that. You know what I mean?
No, for sure. Yeah, well, I mean, maybe my insight on that could be wrong. You know what I mean? I hope I get China glass the fuck out of here, honestly. Like, I mean, I don't mind the raw material and American artists making it, but I don't know, man. I feel like it definitely hurts the market, hurts the full-time pipe maker to have shops just selling China glass. Yeah,
for sure. Yeah, and I guess it goes to marketing and pricing and how you deal with what you deal with it. I mean, I can go on for 3 days about this topic, but
yeah, I'm the worst marketer ever. I'm horrible marketing my work. I'm like, it's pretty bad, honestly. Like some of my friends and shopmates are like, "Oh, what are you selling that for?" And I tell them, and they're like, "No, you should either price it higher or price it lower." And I'm like, "Dude, I don't even know. I just want to make the damn thing and fucking get this out of my face." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know. That's probably why it's better off I have a fucking full-time job.
Oh no, dude, totally. Because not everybody has the acumen for business, But just kind of
I definitely don't.
Just on a side note, for yourself, like when I started doing this, I always made sure like that my profit margin was about $20 an hour, as if I had a job somewhere else. So I just always, figure if I can make 4 spoons an hour and I can sell them wholesale for $5 a piece, or say $6 a piece or whatever, and it cost me $1 to make them, there's my $20 an hour I can make profit. And that's kind of how I priced myself. And then the longer I was in this, the higher I would raise my hourly wage based on, the industry and what I was making and whatever. So if you make one pipe an hour, you make the wholesale that thing for $50. But then at the same time, you'll be underselling yourself too, just based on the market value,
Yeah.
But it's also good to go scout the shops, check out prices.
Yeah, dude, I did do that when I was living in Philly. Me and my shopmate, we went to a few shops here and there, and we would do that, scout prices and stuff, and tried to make connections. But I don't know, when I came back, I fell out of it. I was like, I just don't even want to deal with it anymore. honestly. And that sounds like, I guess, unmotivated in a sense, but it's not like I stopped blowing glass. I'm
Well,
still blowing glass.
well,
pretty
yeah,
much
and that's the
every
thing,
day.
dude. You don't have to, and again, going back to the fact that you have this gig, and myself too, and those that have a full-time glass blowing job, it's a blessing because you don't have to go home and do production unless you want to. And my generation, my mindset is still like production, 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 production. It's hard for it's hard for me to want to come home and to be like, okay, what kind of one-off am I making today? Which is again
It feels
why
good when you make that one off too, man. You put that in the kiln
Yeah.
when you're done. You're like, damn, it's been a long day, but I just made something unique and beautiful
Yeah,
for
totally.
myself. It's a nice release of energy. Just get in that flow state and just fucking move.
Yeah, exactly. And that's one thing I miss because I don't get that at work really because I'm always chit chatting with guests and stuff, so I'm kind of like
Right.
in both realms at the same time. So yeah, I definitely miss the getting at home and throwing my headphones in and leaving the studio for a couple hours in a sense.
Yeah, it's definitely nice. I love it in the hot shop too, man. When you get in that flow state, like
Yeah.
me, I've had the same assistant when I'm in my blow slots and I'm gaffing. My homie Nick, man, he's a fucking man. He assists me, and we've gotten to the point in the last year where if we're we'll be busting out like tumblers or something, just like making cups. And it gets to the point where we don't even talk to each other. We have music on, and he knows the next step that I need him to do for me, and I know what he's going to need me to give him in that moment. You know what I mean? We have such a flow state going.
Yeah.
It's fucking awesome.
Yeah, that's one of the things with the hot shop that always intrigued me before I actually got myself into the hot shop was just kind of this. It's an unspoken kind of choreographed dance that's going on the whole time, where everybody has their position in the role, and it's dangerous environment, and everybody's got to watch out what the fuck's going on, but everybody's on the same wavelength in a sense.
It's intense, man. The hot shop is fucking intense, and I love it. I don't know. When I'm in the hot shop, I'm like, all right, cool. I'm ready to sweat my dick off. I'm ready to make some fucking art with my friends right here. You know what I mean? And we're all just having a good time. Just a whole crew just blowing glass at each other, making one piece together collaboratively.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Now, do you find like early on when you were doing the assisting, in the hot shop, like all these little steps and stages throughout your early career, in a sense, before you, and then you went to school and stuff? Do you think that all kind of culminated to where when you got out of school that you still had a better like mindset and perspective of glass in a sense? Does that make sense?
Kind of. Are you saying like comparing?
Well, just kind of like like if say like whenever I would have somebody apprentice or take classes for me, I always they had to watch for 9 hours. That's like that's a not weird number, but I do three-hour sessions, and
Oh yeah.
just so they can watch and visually see what the hell is going on, so that when you get into the process of actually turning a torch on, you're kind of familiar with what's going on, sort of, just visually speaking. Physically, you still have to get the muscle memory and stuff going, but your brain is already kind of wrapped around some concepts. So
No, for sure.
yeah.
Like when I first when I first got in the glass, even when I had my own torch and everything, and I was blowing glass, I still, before I even wanted to make something, I was like, I need to watch somebody do this, or watch somebody like do something like it. I'm a very visual and hands-on learner. I can't read something or have somebody just tell me it. I need to like see it done. So yeah, I mean, assisting in the hot shop, if that's is that what you were asking? Like
Yeah. Before because then you went
so-
from that to school to scientific glass blowing, which is a whole nother animal. I mean, you're using machines to help hold the glass in a sense compared to the hot shop. So even though you weren't actually physically melting glass,
Yeah, I had a very, very, very tiny hot shop experience when I was like 14 years old at Wheaton. But when we went at the school, man, they just throw you in. They're like, we had my teacher, Danny. She's awesome. She works up at Urban Glass in Brooklyn. She we hopped in first semester glass blowing. She's like, all right, we're all gonna gather today. I'm gonna show you twice how to do it. I'm gonna show you how to marver out a punny. Go fucking do it.
Yep.
And not a lot of demonstration. It's kind of just like a one step go. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's how my hot shop was too. When I worked with Charlie, he same way.
My bad if it didn't answer the question properly, but
Oh no, it did. I'm just kind of curious because it seems like in life in general, as we grow and we're exposed to all these things. Hopefully, all these things we're exposed to can kind of all come together to help us fine tune a passion or job or whatever. You know what I mean?
for sure.
So-
And I really feel like being like flame working for 5 years and then getting into the hot shop. I feel like I had a better understanding of the hot shop, just knowing fluidity of glass, and to an extent, obviously furnace glass is way fucking different than melting boro, but still just like having that understanding. And then after the year of hot shop, and progressing in hot shop, and then taking my knowledge of hot shop into the flame studio, I've been able to, it's like they've both kind of piggybacked each other to help me, I don't know, get better in a sense.
I recommend anybody that's a flame worker to take hot shop classes, just because not only the hand skills that you get, but like for me, it allowed me to understand glass even more so intimately. So now, when I go to my torch, I can get bigger and hotter and whatever in boro now.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, dude, the way I think about it, it's like, nothing against just like anybody who does one specific role in glass. Like if you're just a hot shop worker, if you're just a pipe maker, if you're just a non-functional flame worker, you know what I mean? Or if you're just a kiln caster, or if you're just a scientific glass worker. I think if you're a glass blower, you should try all fields of glass. You know what I mean? You have to. I don't know. If you don't, I feel like you're just missing out. You're missing out on the world of glass.
I completely agree. Yep, 100%.
Like you got to try it all at least, because you never know, man. What if you've been making pipes for like 10 years and then you're like, oh, I'm gonna try this hot shop class that's like at this hot shop, an hour away, and you fall in love with it. You're like, okay, I have a change of path with my life right now. I need to fucking manifest this. So you never know, man. I mean, life's crazy. I think if you are a passionate glass blower, you should try all fucking fields. Without a doubt.
Completely. And it's interesting too, because there's so much crossover that you can happen. Like for instance, like there was one day I was making pumpkins, and I go into my mold, and my bottom was too thin, so I popped it open, not realizing it, just getting that bubble going and getting the mold texture picked up in the optic mold. And I was like, it was the first time it had ever happened to me. And it was a big, massive glass. Like the pumpkins I was making the small ones were about 4 inches, and my big ones were 8 inches in diameter. And that's a
nice.
big ass pumpkin,
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, what the fuck do I do? And when we do our demos at Disney, it's a solo show, so which is interesting on its own, being a solo hot shop worker.
Oh, you're making solo. You're doing.
It's all solo. Yeah, totally.
Nice.
Yeah, dude, it was interesting timing wise, but you
gotta be quick.
Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, it's understanding a lot, But I look at it and I go to my bench and I'm like, well, I could take my diamond shears and neck this down and cut it maybe, or I can go to my bench. I can go back in my glory hole, get this bitch hot, go to my bench, and then marver it on my bench like I would if I was on the torch.
Right.
So that's what I did. So I went to got it hot, marvered it down, did a little air trap to move some glass around. I went back to my bench and removed a little bit of the glass, but not as much as I would have had to if I had gone straight to the bench just to remove that shit or to close it back off. And it made me realize, like, just the crossover ideas of, well, if I can do this on the torch and with this glass over here, why can't I do it over here with this kind of glass?
Exactly.
And it doesn't always work,
for sure.
But it was cool, man. Like even trying to do some like wigwag, back and forth kind of switchback patterns in the hot shop. It didn't always come out the way I wanted it to, but it was still fun as hell trying to get a wigwag pattern in that, in it.
Hell yeah, that's tough, man. Trying to get twists like that in the hot shop. Like,
yeah.
I don't know how you do it, but do you do the marver tech where you just spin in one place?
Yeah.
On your marver? Yeah. And dude, that shit's hard, especially when you want to get a wigwag pattern. You got to like make sure you're heating the right spot in and out of the glory hole right there. That shit's tough.
Yeah, for sure. And I think the one thing, in terms of the biggest thing I learned from the hot shop was like heat base and understanding like really having consistency in heat and glass. Because it's amazing, man. If you go to heat something up and there's like one small spot, like if you're on the torch and there's one small spot of just the tiniest like dime size area that isn't as evenly heated as the rest of your piece, and you go to blow it out, you're gonna know that spot was cold.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And getting to use a glory hole and that encapsulates the glass with all the heat compared to a torch. It was definitely a unique experience and learning lesson as well. Not to mention trying to understand how to work glass with only using really one side of the glass, where like, on the torch you have your blowpipe and your punny or whatever you're doing.
Right.
It's like
and you can just constantly switch back and forth if you need to, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And like for me, like the first time I ever did any lathe work, it was frustrating, but it was also a little boring for me because I wasn't used to just like standing there with a torch in my hand. But it made me appreciate the lathe workers because you're not able to adjust your pitch. You're always working on a flat plane in terms of using gravity.
Right. Yeah, for sure. That's all I do at work is work on the lathe.
Yeah, so
It gets pretty boring, but it's a production job, and
Yeah. Are you able to throw some headphones in and do your thing, or is it like?
Oh yeah, dude, I could sit there and like watch Netflix if I want to.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, they're really cool people, man. They treat me really well there. I'm grateful to have that job.
You have benefits and stuff through them?
Yeah, 401k benefits.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's cool. I'm like a wook, so I don't know. It's kind of weird being there, I guess, but I work with a bunch of old head glass blowers who they're a lot of them there are savages, man.
Oh yeah, man. That's how they are,
really
dude.
Phenomenal glass blowers, though. Like really good glass blowers.
Yeah, I was watching.
I don't even know what the pipe scene is. It's crazy.
Completely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like what's pipe making?
Right.
Yeah, it's interesting, but yeah, like those OG fucking scientific glass blowers are like old school hot shop workers, man. Like you're saying, they're just beasts.
Oh yeah. They don't take shit either. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, it kind of hardens you a little bit.
Definitely, it definitely does.
You kind of have to,
Yeah, there's some people in my job who are hard-headed and like, I don't know, if you do something wrong, they're gonna fucking tell you. They're gonna be straight up with you. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, which is important, not being afraid to.
Oh no, and it's
tell
gonna
your
make you a better
glass
glass blower, man.
Yeah, exactly. Because not everybody can handle the criticism.
That's another thing with glass, man. I feel like there's a lot of negative, not negative. I should say a lot of criticism in the glass scene right now that I've noticed on the internet, and people are kind of taking it to heart. And it's just like, dude, just do your thing. Just blow glass. Like, take it. Don't take it as some heat coming your way. Just take that heat and then manifest that within yourself to put something else better. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, work to make something better, Yeah,
it's just using perseverance and getting past the bullshit. And a lot of times the criticism out there is honesty from people that don't know any better, maybe,
Yeah, no, that's true. Yeah.
But same time, like with us at work, we have an art director, and she's a ball buster on stuff. And it's like, certain specific things that are character work that have to be a certain way before we can even go out and get them approved. Like my recent character I've been working on it literally took me 6 months and 12 revisions till I got to a point. And the 12 revisions are ones that went to her, not even the ones that I fucked up on before, and thinking they were good enough to send it off to the office. So it's self-defeating. It can feel, at times, and it's, it's like the successful people out there always say, it's like when you get to that point to where you're hitting the wall, if you just stop right there, you never know what's going to be on the other side of that wall.
Exactly. You gotta fucking, dude. I tell myself all the time. It's like, life's a ladder, right? And it's like some pegs are gonna be missing. It's gonna be cloudy on your way up. It's gonna be stormy, but you just gotta keep fucking climbing. You gotta climb through the bullshit. You just gotta jump the pegs and just keep on moving, because that ladder's not getting any fucking smaller. So you gotta fucking move.
Yep. Exactly. Yeah, it's so true, man.
And it's like with the criticism and shit too. It's at my job specifically, everything's got to be to a spec, and it's like to thousandths of a millimeter. And it's like the inspectors will come back and bring defective parts to me, and I'm like, oh shit, like I got to fix them. But sometimes, man, if you get a new job and you really fuck up that job without you make like 100 parts and 40 of them come back. Your boss is going to be like, yo, dude, I'm going to write you up. Like, I have to. You got to fix these or I have to write you up. And that's no bueno.
Yeah.
So that's another part of it. It's like you got to really fucking pay attention and focus on the finer things.
Yeah, it's all in the details. And, like, a lot of things that I've been learning within the last couple, like, say, like the last year, really, in terms of my glass, is really all about cleanliness and how important it is to have clean glass. Like when you store it, when you keep it in your studio, whatever you're doing, and before you use it, no matter how well it's stored and kept out from collecting dust, you have got to keep that shit clean.
Oh no, for sure, dude. At my job, we have acid bath washes and everything. We have to wear gloves. Like, can't touch the glass. It's a little more intense than I would have it at my home studio. You know what I mean? But yeah, you definitely got to have clean glass.
Yeah,
definitely.
Man. Hey, give me 1 second, dude. I need to close this window. I got somebody outside with the.
Yeah, man. Yeah, you're good.
Yeah, I've got a house under construction right now, from literally across the street, and there's the septic guy cleaning out the porta potty.
Nice.
Yeah, this guy's it's actually kind of interesting. This guy's construction. He's right now the entire house is being built with foam, like foam blocks and structure-wise, and it's got like iron or metal bars in between the foam. And then I guess they're going to fill like the inside internal parts of the foam with concrete, and then they'll spray the outside of it or whatever. Like
what? I've never heard of that. That's crazy.
I know. I've seen like Adobe style homes being done that way, but not like this. This is pretty cool shit, and it seems like it's like ideal insulation too.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I don't know anything about construction, unfortunately.
Yeah, I just kind of I understand that. I pretend sometimes.
Yeah, right. I mean, I could build a bench to blow glass on.
Yeah, there you go.
Right? I guess that counts for something.
Hell yeah, man. So kind of back up a little bit when we're starting to do your flame work and stuff. What were some of the first things you were making?
Oh, dude, fucking. So like the first 6 months I was on the torch, I was just making hollow tube implosions. I like looked up a video on YouTube, how to make a pendant pretty much. I don't really quite remember exactly, but I remember stumbling across some dude's home video that you could barely see what the hell he was doing, and I just gave it a shot. Like, started blowing bubbles and putting dots on it and imploding it. And I did that for like 6 months, and I just made pendants. And I told myself, I was like, if I'm gonna really dive into this, I need to fucking figure this out and get this as good as I can get until I feel comfortable enough to move on to the next step. So I did that. And I just did pendants, and so went to a couple, fairs, craft fairs with my shopmate at the time, and we sold pendants and shit. And then I started making spoons, and they were so shitty, and I got down on myself, honestly, a lot. But they got better, and then I don't really know when I started making rigs and stuff, but it's kind of all I make now is rigs and, one-off spoons, and I make a lot of one-off stuff, I don't really like to focus on production. I just like to, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, again, like you don't have to, which is awesome.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, even when I had to be honest, man, I still made what I kind of wanted to make. If it didn't sell, I was like, shit, I'm going to be late on a bill then, but I just want to blow glass. I want to make what I want to make and let my passion kind of do its thing.
Yeah. Like old Bob Snodgrass says, money follows passion.
Dude, damn straight. That is for sure. That is definitely for sure.
Yeah, speaking of Snodgrass, I need to get his ass on the show.
That would be awesome. Yeah, that'd be really cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
I would like to hear what he has to say about fuming, because I can't fume to save my life. I really can't.
It is
burn it out. I could get it on the glass, but then as soon as I definitely overheat it, because as soon as I start making something, by the time I look at the finished piece, I'm like, oh, cool, it's just clear.
It's all flame composition, dude. It's amazing how many times I put silver on a piece of tubing and it was clear, and then I just kind of like jack up my propane a little bit, and then it's like super saturated in silver. Like I didn't even realize how much silver was on the piece.
Damn.
It's weird.
I have to talk to some homies. Some of my homies, they do a lot of fuming. That's something I want to get into, because that's another thing. I kind of feel stuck with what I've been doing on the torch recently. I haven't really dwelled into something new, flame working wise. I feel like that has a lot to do. I've been like busy with work and school, but I don't know. I feel like my progression has kind of plateaued within this last year.
Well, it's good that you recognize that, though. Because not everybody does.
Yeah, I try to. I don't know. I just want to be the best glass blower I can possibly be, to be honest.
Yeah, it's important for sure.
Yeah.
So I guess my question for you though is, why are you making rigs?
I just like making them, honestly, I mean, I don't just make rigs. I make spoons and weird one-off Sherlock hammer-looking pieces, and I did dwell into sculpting for a while too. I mainly make rigs though. I auction a lot of clear rigs. That's kind of what I do. Recently, I did a lot of that last year too, and they did good. I'll make a clear rig with a factory joint and like, an opal on the back or a color horn or an implosion cab, and they usually go for like $100-$120. So, and that's what they retail for. If I wholesale them, I'll wholesale them for like $65-$70, and then, they retail at $120.
Nice.
I don't know if that's good, because like I said before, I'm a fucking horrible at marketing and when it comes to business. But
well, if it was like 5 years ago, I'd say you're underpricing yourself. But nowadays, it's the prices have definitely gone down a lot on specific things, especially on clear stuff. I was just kind of curious asking, just because of your scientific background. I wasn't sure if it was like the scientific connection, because it is a scientific type of process.
Yeah, like you have your insertion seal, and then because I normally or ring seal. Well, technically it's an insertion seal with what I do because I don't have a brace on the bottom of my downstands. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, insertion seal, side seal joint. That's pretty much the only scientific aspect to it. Um, yeah, I don't know. Taking those scientific classes has definitely helped me with my pipe game for sure, like 110%. Because the stuff we do is all standard wall, and you're constantly doing ring seals, constantly doing side seals, tangential seals, insertion seals, fucking making condensers, and doing distillation shit. It's like our chemistry project. We had to extract limonene from orange peels, and we made a separation funnel, and on top of that was an Allen condenser, and that was really cool. That doing that project really helped me grow an appreciation for the scientific aspect of glass. Because when you're a scientific glass blower, you just kind of, unless you're working at a university, like Mike Souza or somebody, you're making the apparatus and you're just shipping it out, and then tomorrow's a new day at work. You don't really get to see what goes into that apparatus and what's being created.
Right. Yeah, that was fun talking with Souza because they'll take them and blow his stuff up to make sure with doing pressure tests and stuff. And then he goes back and makes adjustments, and he's dealing with like microns, measurements. Which is
shit's crazy. Yeah. He comes to Salem all the time, dude. He did a demo at the IFC. Like, there's a lot of crazy good glass blowers that come through Salem all the time.
Heck yeah. Yeah, I got Souza.
Demos and stuff.
He's on the list for coming back on the show this year. I'm compiling a bunch of questions for him. We're gonna do a Q&A kind of MythBuster kind of thingy.
Fuck yeah, dude, that'd be fucking dope.
Yeah, because
he's a really humble dude.
Yeah, he's awesome, man. He's got so much knowledge. It's amazing.
Oh yeah. Yeah, sorry I keep bringing up the school. It's like it's kind of like it's cool. The glass mecca around here. You know what I mean?
No, it's good because 90% of our industry is non-educated in the sense of like going to a college or a school for glass blowing. And I get asked all the time at work. You go to school for this, and I tell people I'm self-taught for the most part, and they're blown away, no pun intended, by the whole situation. And I'm like, it's just kind of trial by fire. Yeah. It's how it really kind of comes down to. But then having the fact that you can go to school and then focus on a specific area it's even, it's pretty badass.
For sure. I mean, they have art program there too, it's like, and mad respect, man, teaching yourself and like coming up like that. Cause that takes a lot of dedication and motivation to really dive into that. And nowadays I feel like with technology and stuff, a lot of artists directly into glass, I guess, don't really have that kind of drive. I feel like, they'll watch these tutorial videos and then they'll just do the same thing over and over and over, which props for them, man. There's going to be trial and error with that regardless, mm-hmm. But it's like, I feel like there's a lack of appreciation of like really sitting there and learning it yourself and putting the time and hours into it,
Yeah, for sure.
It's almost like this generation of glass blowers, including myself, we're skipping a step. It's like, the trial and error step is kind of diminished. It's like with all this technology, you have all these awesome videos and tutorials, which I think is great for the community. It's going to help it grow quicker and hopefully get developed in a higher aspect, I guess I could say. Mm-hmm. I don't really know how to word what I would say for that, but basically, I just want to see glass blowers put out some crazy fucking shit.
Yeah.
And I feel like with all this tutorial shit, it's going to make it better.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, but I understand what you're saying, though, because like I listened to a podcast called Pokemon Go Radio. These guys talk about the Pokemon Go show and stuff, and they were talking today about, the generation that, and I'm not even going to like say the millennials, it's just there's a generation right now that, if you're playing a video game and you're stuck on a level, you can just go on YouTube and watch somebody show you how to get through the level. Instead of exactly. I've spent fucking hours on trying to get past a certain level, like on Mario Brothers back in the day, or whatever it was, and I guess
no, for sure,
all that shit just kind of grown up in my generation, not the World War II generation of all those guys that were, supposedly the best generation of ever existed in this country, or whatever. But it's definitely I have had to learn the hard way. But again, now there's all this open source and information. Not all of it's correct. But it's still
for sure.
I think
it's still knowledge being put out there.
Yeah, I still haven't access. I mean, fuck, my washer took a shit the other day, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go on YouTube and see what this says, and I wasn't able to fix it, but I got pretty close.
Dude, yeah, my washer just fucked up right now. The lock thing doesn't work, so it just sits there and beeps, and you try to turn it off, and it turns back on. Oh my god, it's a nightmare.
Yeah, it's annoying. I have a heat sensor issue right now, so it's like it'll go to a certain point, and then it starts to give you hot water, and then the beep 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 thing starts up, and it's a pain.
Oh damn. Yeah, I looked up a YouTube video on it, but I couldn't find shit about it, so I punched the thing. I'm like, god damn it, fucking work.
Yeah, well, if you can figure it out, man, you should make a YouTube video for it.
I mean, it's working right now. My girl fucking just held down the button for 2 minutes, the power button, and it just turned off, and then when we used it, it was fine.
Cool.
The lock worked again. It's like a magnetic sensor lock. It's real weird.
Yeah, that's what mine has, the same exact thing. You got to hold the pause button for a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
The technology. There's lots of ways to reset it. I mean, shit, man. I took this thing apart, and there was a manual inside of the washing machine, in the back of the housing, that is for the repair guy, that has step-by-steps on all the ways of what you have to do to go through, and buttons you hit and certain codes you can put in and stuff to figure out what the issue is. So I just used that to my advantage.
Nice.
Yeah, I was pretty stoked. But yeah, enough about the washing machines.
Yeah, my bad. Fucking.
No, it's okay.
I kind of got me heated when you brought that up. I was like, damn, my fucking washer's fucked up too, man. Shit.
Yeah, it sucks. I'm not going to go to the laundromat. My girl actually went to her parents yesterday to use their washing machine real quick to do some shit, because we had the Airbnb, and I'm like, fuck, we got people coming today, and I've got no clean towels for them. And
oh, damn.
So
how is that, having an Airbnb?
I'm digging it, man. It's not only is it helping offset the cost of my rent for the house that I'm in, but it's giving me a chance to get to meet people. Not everybody is social, but the people that I've met that are social it's been cool, man. I got people coming from all over the world. I mean, literally coming from all over the world to stay here, and being close to the theme parks. It's it's affordable for them, and that's kind of how I set it up too. Was I wanted to make it an affordable place that's super comfy, kind of 5-star experience that they can come in and feel at home after the craziness of being in the theme parks or just dealing with Orlando in general, because it's a fucking high energy clusterfuck of a place here.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
So
I haven't been to Disney in so long.
Yeah, to come down, man, anytime.
Yeah, I plan on coming down for the gas conference.
Yeah.
Which is in Tampa, I think.
It's in St. Pete. Yeah, it's actually my old hometown. Okay. Yeah, man, I'm glad you brought that up, because I was going to do a year in review episode about 2018, especially I was thinking about the gas conference going to Italy this year, and how cool that conceptually wise that is to kind of go back to the mecca of glass. And I guess it's been probably 15 years now, maybe. I'm not really sure what year it was, but we had the Chihuly collection come in town. He did this Chihuly Across Florida series and had I think it was 6 museums. He had simultaneous shows going on.
Oh damn.
And yeah, it was pretty neat seeing it. And I didn't go to all of them, but I went to the one in St. Pete. And the St. Pete one that we had is at this old-ass museum, and it was the biggest, most visited show they had ever in the history of this museum. And it's a 100-year-old museum. And so they extended the show a couple months longer. And then Chihuly himself fell in love with the area. And with the weather we have and just the settings, I always kind of felt like after that whole Chihuly thing, it was going to be the next mecca for glass. And then about 5 years after his museum show, we had the Chihuly collection actually come in as his first permanent installation collection, which I had the opportunity to work at and be a part of that situation for a couple of years.
Oh, fuck yeah, that's dope.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And that was actually my first really experience and exposure to the hot shop. I was doing full tours on, with guests and teaching and stuff, our docents on Chihuly himself and about the glass. But my knowledge for the hot shop was really only from just basic, like you're saying, YouTube or seeing some Chihuly videos that I've seen. So we had a hot shop that opened up, so I got a chance to really go watch, and I would take guests on VIP tours to this thing. So I really got a chance to be exposed to it. But now we have all these new glass blowers and studios opening up all over St. Pete, and now we have the fucking gas conference coming, which is huge. And it's really seems like it's you have got Venice and Murano and Seattle, and now we've got good old St. Pete as a place for glass.
Hell yeah. Damn, fuck yeah. We need something in the Northeast now.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Well, we got Corning, yeah.
Yeah, and see, that was another thing I want to bring up too. Did you see that frickin' the glass barge thing that they did this year?
Oh yeah, that shit was fucking cool.
Yeah, so those that don't know about it, I'm actually going to bring it up real quick here.
There was a guy that came and he did a demo at our in my hot shop class. He was like a visiting artist, and he worked on that. I'm pretty sure. I need to fucking. You're talking about the glass bars. They're on the water, blowing glass and shit. Yeah. Fuck, who the fuck was that? I can't remember his name.
So I'm
My
sorry.
bad.
Oh,
Yeah,
no,
my
you're
bad.
good, dude. I'm actually going to read. This comes off of cmog.org, which is the Corning Museum of Glass.org. So the glass barge was basically a celebration for basically for Corning, who has been huge in changing the world of glass. I mean, literally.
Yeah,
You know,
for sure.
Everything from TVs to cell phones. I mean, you name it. All of our cookware. Yeah, so basically it says glassmaking innovations in Corning have shaped the modern world, from the first electric light bulb for Thomas Edison and the invention of optical fiber for telecommunications, to the glass used in modern flat screen displays. And that story all began with a voyage on New York's waterways. In 1868, the Brooklyn Flint Glass Company relocated to Corning via the New York waterways and evolved into the company that is now known today as Corning Incorporated. It celebrated its 150th anniversary of this pivotal journey. CMOG launched Glass Barge, a 30-foot by 80-foot canal barge equipped with Corning Museum of Glass's patented all-electric glass-making equipment in Brooklyn Bridge Park on May 17, 2018. It then traveled north on the Hudson, then westward along the Erie Canal before it made its way to the Finger Lakes. It stopped at ports in Yonkers and a bunch of other places it names. Ceremonial last leg of the trip took place on land and concluded in Corning with a community-wide celebration, Harvest Homecoming, on September 22nd. So basically they designed and built this barge that had a hot shop on it, it had demonstrations, and it had seats in like a bleacher style where you can go float down the river and watch glassblowing demonstrations, which is fucking cool as shit.
That shit is fucking awesome.
We got the hot rod garbage trucks driving by.
Nice. I was wondering what that was like. Wait, was that me? Was that?
Yeah.
Shit. The Corning also does that thing where you can it's like a job offering, I guess, where you work on it. I think it's with the Disney cruise, right?
It used to be with Celebrity, and they've actually stopped.
Oh, they stopped doing that.
Yeah, as of last year, from what I understand.
Damn.
I don't know why exactly. I had Eric Goldschmidt on, and we were talking about that because I was curious if they could sell their stuff. You know, when they would make. I mean, just the fact of being a hot shop worker on top of a cruise ship. Like, he was like, yeah, man, there were times where we were like, the boat swaying because you're on the very top of the ship, you know?
Oh,
So
damn.
Imagine being at like the bottom of a pendulum, you know, in a sense, working in a hot shop. So, yeah.
That sounds like a learning curve right there.
Oh, man, yeah. But Corning's being a non-profit, they couldn't sell their stuff necessarily. So I don't know if that was part of it because the guests want to buy their shit and they couldn't. I'm just throwing things out there, so I'm not really sure. But there's another, if I understand, there's another studio now that has contracts with them.
Oh, that's cool though. Yeah, because I think that's a great idea too. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Yeah, I've actually was talking to my owners of my company about that because we're trying to incorporate ourselves into the cruise ship industry ourselves. So it's like untapped with Disney. Like, I mean, it's $10,000 for a family of four to go on a week-long cruise now on these cruise ships at Disney.
Damn. It's a lot more money than I could spend.
Yeah, it's it's all inclusive. So don't get me wrong. I mean, the value is there, but still.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I'm gonna use my discount if I can.
Hell yeah, I would. That's awesome that you work at Disney though, like blowing glass there. I think that's super fucking cool.
Yeah, man, it's a childhood and adult dream come true for me. Being in the situation and getting to share and expose the world literally to what we do. In terms of the glass, whether it's in the hot shop or on the torch. It's I love talking with the guests. Like, it gets to the end of the night and I'm tired and I don't necessarily want to, but I still do. But yeah, it's definitely interesting, and we have our company Rebus Brothers has a 50-year history with Disney, and so being a part of this lineage of glassblowers that have been with the company for 50 years, going back to the days of Disneyland and Walt meeting the original brothers at the World's Fair in 1964. I mean, there's like, and I'm a huge Disney nerd, and I have a huge respect and appreciation for Walt Disney himself and what he did as an innovator. So it's It's really cool, man. It's an interesting opportunity for sure. You know,
Yeah.
I've had to learn how to play by the rules in a sense. And
Hey, I mean, you're
yeah.
hopping in the hot shop.
Yeah,
You know what I mean, that's another cool fucking thing.
yeah, yeah. And I
I
wouldn't.
mean,
Yeah, I don't think I would.
Have you worked in the hot shop before?
No,
Disney?
no. Before that, I did. Over. I was living in this little city called Gulfport, which is just outside of St. Pete, and we had the Industrial Arts Center there that I used to assist in the hot shop there during classes. I actually taught lamp working classes, and I would get hot shop time for my time for the teaching I did.
Oh,
So,
hell yeah.
so I would assist.
Fair trade-off.
Yeah, it was nice, man. So we would do like make a heart couple night or make pumpkins and ornaments and whatever. So I would assist with that kind of stuff, and then I got to a point to where on off times I would assist with the artists that were doing their own thing, and then they would give me a chance to then go and do my own thing with them. So I got a couple of different items that I had made, and then it was probably about 5-6 years. Well, no, actually probably longer than that. No, I'd say about 5 years. Until I actually finally got a chance to get my first gather by myself, because they would get a gather for me. You know,
Nice.
so, yeah, yeah.
I fucking love the hot shop.
Yeah, I mean, I got transferred out of there over to where I'm at now, like right before summertime started. So it was like a blessing in disguise. But I definitely go in there every once in a blue moon when I cover a shift to get my fix, because it's like something I gotta get. I gotta have to have my fix.
Dude, I feel you. Like, when I finished school this semester, I was talking to my advisor, and I was like, look, I want to come back, but I don't want to pay for school, obviously, but I just want to take hot shop classes, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, luckily enough, my teacher was like, yeah, you can TA my class next semester, and I was like, cool. So I get to just have a free blow slot, after class and work for free for 3 hours.
Yeah, that's awesome. And then also assisting,
yeah.
man, it's amazing how much you can learn assisting and teaching.
Oh, dude, yeah, seriously. And my teacher's awesome. She's really hands-on, explains things really well, so grateful for that.
Yeah, it's
and
awesome.
Assisting, I feel like that's how you're going to learn, you know what I mean? Just assisting the gaffer. Just watch. You have to watch him no matter what, or her.
Yep.
You have to keep your eyes in their eyes at all time.
Yep.
And yeah, I don't know. I just love I can never get over the fact about I'm passionate about it. Like, I just love making art with my friends, and when you're in the hot shop and you're all just collectively on this one piece, I fucking love it. I just do. It's great.
Yeah, it's cool, man. I've always looked at it as like a band.
Literally,
Yeah.
It literally is.
Just making some pretty
That's
music.
cool. Yeah, for sure.
So, do you have any dreams and aspirations for yourself in terms of big projects or anything that you'd want to create and making with the glass, with all this knowledge that you've been consuming?
I mean, dude, I just want to make friends in the glass world, and collab with people. Doesn't matter skill level or whatever. And I don't know. Not really, dude. I just want to blow glass. That's all that keeps me sane, to be honest.
So do you find you do the glass just because you love the glass, or do you do it for the art, or is it kind of a little bit of both?
A little bit of both. I mean, when I first got in, obviously I first got into it, I was mind blown. I was just mind blown by it. I was taken back. But I don't know. I just like blowing. I don't know. I would say I like the artistic aspect of it more than scientific aspect of it.
Mhm.
I should say. So yeah, I when I hop on the torch sometimes, I don't even know what I'm gonna make. I just start melting shit, and then pieces start coming together. It's not like I have a set drawing or a set production line that I need to work on or want to work on.
Yeah, just kind of whatever comes to you.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. I don't know. My bad. That's probably a horrible fucking answer right there.
Oh no, dude. Because honestly, I've always been intrigued by that. Because for me, I'm very technical. I have an architect engineering brain. So I draw on paper first, create a little bit of a blueprint per se of what I'm going to make, and break things down into sections and segments, and this is going to be this and that, and blah blah blah, and then I go make a piece in clear just to kind of run through what I'm going to do, and then I go into the project. And I've always been intrigued by artists, like you said pre-show, you suck at drawing, so those that really don't even draw, they just go right from their head to glass. For me, it's hard to comprehend. But I have a respect and admiration for those that can do that. That can just go, I need a starting point. I need, I
feel you.
So much inspiration, but it's too much,
There's something sometimes if I'm doing a collab with a friend and we're we're like get real in depth with it, and we're like, oh, let's do this, but let's do this, let's do this, and I'm like, all right, maybe we should draw this out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So in some cases, I'll draw things out, but more cases, so I just go for it.
Hell yeah. Nothing wrong with that.
Scientific though, dude. Scientific, you gotta fucking draw. You have to have a blueprint, sketch, measurements, everything. It's literally it's a whole new ballpark.
Well, I know guys like Mickelson, for instance. He actually draws it to scale, like on a graph paper. Parts and
Jesus.
components. If he's going to make one of his weapons of whatever he's doing.
Oh yeah, that shit's so intricate, man. Like,
yeah.
When you get in depth like that, you would totally have to have a specs you can. You couldn't just wing that,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm sure you could, but at his caliber, why do that when I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's why it's important to have like a whiteboard or a chalkboard in your shop, because in a hot shop, I'd love to draw on the floor, like what we're going to work on, kind of get an idea. It's fucking cool.
It definitely is, yeah.
And over at Disney, we never did that, but they've just recently put up a big chalkboard so that they can actually kind of sketch out what's going to be made, so the guests can kind of see, also what's going to be made too. But
I should probably get in the habit of doing that more, to be honest.
Yeah, I think it's a good thing to do. But
yeah.
At the same time, like free flow and fucking have fun, it's like, why not?
Yeah, but I mean, I guess in a sense of I don't want to be a scientific worker the rest of my life, so
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, maybe trying to dial in on a lot of, like I said earlier, try to focus on the finer things of everything you make. Every step counts, so every perfect prep makes perfect work,
Yeah. So true.
Yeah. Maybe this little conversation right here, that's gonna I'm gonna get that whiteboard set up in the fucking shop.
Do it.
I'm gonna do that tomorrow. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Because
I'm gonna start drawing shit up.
It's like I was saying, for me, I need parameters, and I've had guests come up to me and order something custom, and they're like, "Oh, I'll let the artist have fun." I'm like, "I'll have fun, but I need specifics, like what colors do you want, how big, how much you paint."
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
sure.
Like it's otherwise,
especially when it comes down to a custom, that's that's another ballpark right there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't do customs, man. Like I sell my work through Instagram, and I tell people, they hit me out, they're like, "Oh, dude, I want a custom with I want it to look like this and like this." I'm like, dude, I'm sorry. I would love to take that on, but I can't. You know what I mean? Me personally, and it's nothing against them or anything. It's just when I do a custom, I feel like I don't put out the quality I can actually put out, because I'm so stressed out about making it perfect for them, and then trying to make it perfect for myself. And it's just, I don't know. I've had some bad custom projects, but
no, same with me, and that's why I really I have two right now that I'm wrapping up that have been honestly in the making for about 2 years now, and they've been awesome patient wise, because they understood my situation and having to move and whatever. But yeah,
that's good. Yeah.
Once they're done, I'm good. Because I have a couple lines. 2019, I'm gonna reintroduce the pipe into my life, but I have a project I'm working on that's gonna be a series of work that's gonna be more like a body of work in a sense. So I can start focus on doing some shows eventually down the road.
Dude, that'd be stellar. You should totally do that.
Yeah. What I really want to do, honestly, long term with the show, is to have shows for this podcast and bring the guests that I've had for that year and do an end of the year show of their glass. You know what I mean?
Nice. And see progression of that year, or
no. Every guest I've had on, say every guest I have on for 2019, I'll host a show centrally in somewhere in the country that ideally all my guests can meet up at and bring their work and have a big show of hey, this is what they do. Here they are in person. That'd
be really cool, and it'd be a good way for everybody to kind of meet. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Who's been a part of your show? I think that's great. That would be good for the community, I feel like.
Yeah, it'd be fun. Something different.
Yeah, definitely. That's another thing I feel like the pipe scene needs, is something different. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so weird, man, because there's so many things being offered right now, like classes and stuff that are being offered, and it seems almost like, I hate to say it, but it seems like, and my brother and I were talking about this, it's kind of like a fraternity kind of thing where you're paying to make friends or get to know a certain glass artist more so, and take some dabs with them more so than actually go there to take in the knowledge that you're going in there for, that they're going to actually show you. You know,
No, for
You know what I
sure.
mean? And these classes are fucking I mean, it's expensive. You're paying a couple grand for like a weekend long class. And don't get me wrong, you're getting some serious exposure if you take advantage of it. You know, like if I go to a class, I'm not going to go there to make friends with anybody that's there. I'm going except for the artists potentially. I'm going there to get my money's worth out of what I'm, going there for.
Dude, I wish I had the money to take an outsourced class like that. Like, I've always wanted to, never had the money to, The only glass teaching I've gotten is from Salem Community College, and that's just scientific shit and hot shop. I took a bead making class too, but that was it.
But yeah, man, you
And-
got a ton of knowledge though from it.
Oh yeah, man. Oh,
Which
for
is
sure.
cool.
And dude, 90% of the kids that come there make pipes from all over the country.
Mhm.
I've got friends now all over the country, which is awesome. They're all great. Everybody's great people there. It's good times. There's like 4 studios walking distance from my house right now. You know what I mean?
Wild.
Yeah, I mean, just like I guarantee some of them are there right now, just blowing glass, and it's a mecca down here. It's really cool.
Yeah, it's good to know because I've actually had guests from that area that they talked about Wheaton and stuff, and asked if I know about that, and they're like, well, yeah, but are there any other hot shops or studios up there? And I'm like, I think there is. Go on Google and look, but it's good to hear that there
Yeah, I
is.
mean, you have the college obviously if you're a student, but then you have Asbury Park up in Asbury Park. It's Hot Sand Studios, I think it's
Okay.
called. And then over in Philly, which is like it's probably about 50 or 45-minute drive from where I'm at. It's called it's in Manayunk. It's like the borough of Philly, Manayunk. What is it called? East Falls. That's what it is.
Okay.
Yeah, East Falls Glass. That's another one. Yeah, there's a few like right around here. I'm trying to think if there's another one. I don't think so. Not that I know.
Well,
But-
like I was saying pre-show, it makes sense that area is kind of turning into that because of the old industrial sense of
Yeah.
what it used to be there. And I'm sure there's plenty of buildings that are, not being used and utilized, so they're putting studios and stuff in it.
Oh yeah, I mean there's a vacant glass building in Salem City right down the street here.
Huh.
It's been vacant for a long time, and they used to do shit like how Wheaton did back in the day.
Fascinating.
Making milk bottles and fucking all that kind of shit.
Yeah, it's what I find interesting too is how like the central of our country, like the Ohio Valley, that whole area, in a sense, was like a huge glass center in the world. It was here in this country and back in the industrial days, all these huge. I mean, everybody from Blanco to you name it, just they were houseware stuff, but they were the major manufacturers of glass in this country that
yeah.
were all in like the central of the country. It's just fascinating.
Yeah, no, for sure. I don't really know much about the history of it, to be honest.
Yeah, me neither. I just know
but-
of it in a sense.
Yeah, and that's good. I should probably. They teach you that at the school, but if you're in the art classes, but
Yeah, did you miss those days?
I I failed that class. To be honest, right
Even
now.
better.
Yeah, yeah. I even asked when I graduated here. I asked my advisor. I was like, "Look, how much do I need to get my art degree?" And she like named a list of classes. I'm like, "Yeah, no, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not taking like art history. I'm not taking this. I'd have to basically a class on just glass and writing papers." And I'm like, "I'm not blowing glass in that class. Nope. Okay, I don't want to take it. So just hot shop."
Yeah, I hear you. I have friends of mine that had like art history degrees, and I have trouble remembering names, and much less like artist names that are Italian or something like that. That you can't hardly pronounce.
I feel that.
And they're like they can see a painting and like, oh yeah, this is so and so, and this is when it was the time period, and this is what they used, and it's all fascinating stuff to me, but. It's so dry. I can't even fucking fathom reading books.
Yeah,
about it.
my brain moves too quick for that shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
I give him props. Totally give him props for that. You know what I mean? But
Yep, I sure do.
yeah, art history is not for me.
No, man, but it would be pretty cool though. Like, which is something I thought about, like trying to figure out. I know that people have talked about like the family tree of the pipe industry, but just like it'd be fun to kind of do a modern kind of glass history of this country, within like the 20th century kind of stuff.
Yeah, no, for sure.
So see where it's evolved, because it's constantly evolving, which again is why being a one-trick pony does nobody any good when you're a glassmaker.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't, and that's why I like not just making pipes. I like being in the hot shop, doing scientific. But I wish I had would dwell into like sculpting on the torch more, but I don't know. I just every time I tell myself I will, and I do on occasion. I have made some like sculptural rigs and stuff, but I try to do these like gremlin demonic things, but I don't know. I like get hype myself up 1 week, and I'm like, I'm fucking gonna make one today, and then I'll put 14 hours in on this piece, and then, I make it, and then 4 months go by, and I don't make another one,
Mm-hmm.
But,
well, at least you get it out of your system, in a sense.
Yeah, no, for sure, and it feels good when I do it.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah, man.
But that's another thing. Like we're talking about the outsourced classes, like all these type of guys. I would love to take a sculptural class and like just to learn something. I feel like it would give me a little more drive within myself to really, really dwell into it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think for me personally, like the 2 classes I took, the best thing I got out of them was the ability to see tools that were being used and how they were used. Because you kind of have an idea on certain things, but then when you see someone like I don't know what the hell the tool's called, but it's like a ball on the end of a stick that you can use, like you can push it into a piece of tubing to push out like a shoulder or a cheekbone or something like that,
I know exactly what you're talking about. I forget the name of that tool.
Yeah, I don't remember what it is, but I remember seeing Steve Seislov use it one time, and I was like, man, that is so smart. I never even thought about that. So. Yeah,
Martin, what's his? I don't know how to pronounce his last name. I'm totally going to butcher it, but Martin Janicki.
Sounds right.
Yeah, the hot shop sculptor. He uses those a lot, and he does the inside-out sculpting in the hot shop. He makes those like realistic-looking faces and skulls and all kinds of shit. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think like 2018 for me was like being exposed to the hot shop made me start researching the hot shop stuff, and just seeing the amount of amazing, talented stuff, artist-wise, and shit being created in the hot shop that we couldn't imagine was going to be made 5 years ago. That's being made nowadays. It's so fucking crazy how just the technical sculptural side of things are getting to. Just
even in the pipe scene. Do you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, for sure. I guess for me in the hot shop though, it's a little different because of how soft that glass is and the ability to push something around, and when you do, something else is moving with it. You know what I mean?
For sure, yeah.
It's I don't know.
I've never tried sculpting in the hot shop. I'm still trying to gather my, my skill set in the hot shop, but like shaping wise and trying to get a consistent wall weight, not too thick. But a good sculptor in the hot shop you should look up is Grant Garmezi. He's really fucking good. He does like a lot of animals and shit.
Okay, I'll write that down.
Yeah, Grant Garmezi's cool. He's pretty close to here too. I think he's in Virginia. I think he's got like a home hot shop studio. Follow him on Instagram. He has some funny stories too, like on his Insta stories.
Hell yeah. Yeah, there's somebody else I was actually trying to find. What the fuck is his name?
Hot shop sculptor?
Yeah, fucking Raven.
I can look at. You said Raven.
Yeah, I there's a.
Is this it right here? Yeah, Raven's Sky River Studios.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, it's Damn, that's some badass looking shit.
Dude.
What? That fucking turtle?
That's what I'm saying.
God damn, dude. And it says Wise One, 2014.
Yeah. If you get a chance,
that was 4 years ago.
Watch that
Holy
video,
shit.
bro. It is fucking incredible.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Like he has like the head of the turtle he makes, and it looks like super realistic. And then he has like
another thing I wish we had in Boro. I feel like Hot Shop has a lot more variety of like color.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
But man, you know what? Like for me, that was my biggest learning curve, was understanding what colors to use with each other, because not everything works well together, and dealing with certain metals, and like there's so much nuance and the science and alchemy in a hot shop that it's in the Boro, but like it is so important to understand that shit when you're in the hot shop.
Absolutely. No, and I don't know anything about batching, dude. There's a color theory school, or a color theory class actually at the school that they have, where they they learn how to batch color, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, it is.
But
yeah, like understanding, certain like aventurine, like I would use a lot with using it like with cobalt or white even, and
that
understanding.
probably looks really good with white.
Oh yeah, it looks gnarly. But like, and then but understanding like how to get your gather, get a bubble, get white, get the aventurine, go into an optic mold, and then the glory hole, and then blow it out in an ornament without burning the aventurine out. And it's like,
Oh shit! Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like the steps and timing. So like I learned how to really how to work the glass cold, so compared to working it hot, because I wasn't overheating the stuff.
Yeah, it's more like work it quick too.
Yeah, that too.
At that point, yeah, you gotta almost do that in like one heat.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, they were exactly. I would get a gather, get my color, fucking quick heat, optic mold that shit, and then blow it out, and it like right there on the bench. I wouldn't even sit down. I would just angle it on the bench and just fucking blow it out, cap it.
Nice.
And then blow it out. And the fun thing with our hot shop, because it's a solo show, so we use blow hoses for everything. So having already had the knowledge for my using a blow hose in the studio on the torch, it just carried right over into the hot shop. Even more so.
Nice. I haven't used a blow hose yet in the hot shop. I'm grateful to say that my friend assists me whenever I need them for my blow slots. So that's definitely cool.
Yeah, but if you get a chance, man, try to make a solo ornament one day.
Yeah, I should do that. I definitely should. No, well, next semester, man, I'm gonna be poaching blow slots every Saturday when I can.
Yeah.
So I'm probably gonna end up getting a blow hose for that.
Hell yeah! What kind of clear were you guys using in the hot shop? Do you know?
I forget what the fuck it was. We were talking about that one day, and I had texted it to you. I don't remember because I was asking you if you use spruce pine because I know that's like a really prominently used glass in the hot shop. Fuck, what is it called? I think it started with a C.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. It's Crystalica, I think it's.
Yes, I'm pretty sure that's what we use.
Yeah, we used spruce pine for a long time, and then we started getting a lot of cords in the tank. And for those that don't, cords, I don't know if you know what that is. So like when you're charging a furnace, if you don't allow the tank to drop down to a certain level, all that glass in the very bottom of the tank, it gets old after a while in a sense. And the glass actually creates like what we call cords, and it's like strands of glass that are actually it's like if you looked at it looks like spaghetti in there in a sense, but it's clear and you can't really see it until you go in for a gather, and then when you go to blow out your piece, you can literally see like the cord like wrapped around the body of the piece that you're working on. It's really strange. So the glass it's almost like it constricts the glass, so you can't blow it out consistent. And and part of our problem was we were charging the furnace way too often, not really getting into the bottom and getting that shit out. Because even though because like all of our furnaces that we use at Disney are all electric, and the glass it tends to stir itself as you're going in there and getting your gathers, but it doesn't always. So like the very bottom of your pot, again, it's just going to kind of get a little shitty. And if you go too deep, then you really start to get the cords actually will get brought up and mixed into the rest of your batch.
I was gonna say, before you charged it, what if you like raked the bottom? Would that like help out, or
we didn't
raked it and then charged it?
We didn't really have the tool necessarily. Like we had like a hoe. I mean, literally.
Okay.
In the garden, you know what I mean? That we could use.
Yeah.
That a couple times like an element would break and fall into the pot, and we had to go in there and scoop it out real quick, and then change out the element before the fucking thing would crash on us, which is always scary as shit. But yeah, it was just those were like the little small things, when you're talking about the color and the little nuances in the hot shop that you'll never have to experience and deal with in Boro of any type. Even though Boro has its own little nuances, but still, it's the hot shop environment. It's again, if you get a chance to go and take a class or even just do a tandem glass blowing experience with somebody, it's amazing how much shit you're gonna learn just from doing it.
Dude, even just watching them do it.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, holy shit.
Yeah, I think the watching aspect is important because you can get a chance to really watch hands and movement and rotation and balance and just how fucking crazy the hot shop environment really is.
Yo, for real, yeah. And like, I don't know, man. I really do believe like if you haven't been in the hot shop, or you've been in pipe maker or flame work or whatever, do it because you're gonna gain experience onto your torch just by working in the hot shop.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know. I really do believe it transfers over skill set.
Yeah, and what I think is fascinating too is like for me, the hot shop taught me a lot about balance and control. You know,
Yep.
and when you're like trying to carry a gather, you know, or a 3 gather piece across the hot shop without losing it for one, but keeping it balanced and centered at the same time without losing like a pattern or a shape or whatever. You know, and your blowpipe weighs 5 pounds. You know, it's hard to really feel how heavy your glass is. Like when you're making an ornament on a 3-pound blowpipe, your ornament may weigh a half a pound, but it feels like it was way heavier than what it is until you get the thing off the blowpipe.
Feels like you have a fucking 20-pound thing or 10-pound, 15-pound thing in your hand.
Yeah, it's so weird. But you know, then I started learning about like how important the moil is and having glass on the moil and getting the glass off the moil, and you know, like. And the moil is the end of the blowpipe. For those that don't know, when you go to get a gather, the blowpipe looks like a kind of like a Q-tip where it's a little fatter at the end of the blowpipe, and that's where you gather your glass onto it. And the idea is to have just enough glass on the moil because that's what keeps your glass stuck to the pipe. But if you have too much on there, then you can have cracking issues because that's cooling off. Or if you have not enough, then you don't have enough glue, quote unquote, to keep the glass down the blowpipe. You know, so
that was a big problem of mine when I was first in the hot shop, was not flashing my moil or my punnies enough. I learned very quickly, though, to flash them, you know.
Do you guys have a pipe warmer?
We have a pipe warmer, yeah.
Cool. But like
I'm saying,
when you're working the piece?
Yeah, when you're working the piece, you know,
Yeah.
because I was not really in, I'm new. I'm still new to the hot shop, you know, so it's like I definitely learned though, like flashing your moil and your punny while you're working a piece is like essential. That's why I love the fucking bushy torch.
Yeah. Those big propane guys are awesome.
Hell yeah.
But then also using those things to reduce color and like play with that kind of stuff too. Again, you know, dealing with chemical composition and chemistry in glass. So yeah, man.
All
So
right, cool.
it's just cool because you know the flame chemistry is so important when you're dealing with boro and boro colors, and if to be able to learn that kind of stuff too in the hot shop, it's again it all just kind of crossover type knowledge that you'll take into the studio, no matter what kind of glass you're playing with.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm still like we have a foot pedal on one of our glory holes to reduce colors.
Interesting.
Like, yeah, it's actually really cool. It looks really cool too when you hold the foot pedal down, like fire's just like spewing out of the glory hole. But yeah, it's cool. I still haven't learned a lot of the colors in the hot shop, so I don't know which ones are reducing, which ones do whatever. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
What does what? But some of my friends are like, "Yo, that's like a striking color. It reduces. Like you should reduce it." And I'm like, okay. So I'll just sit there with the foot pedal for a little bit, reduce it out, and then cool it down. Do my gather if I'm doing an overlay or something, Yeah.
Yeah. So does the foot pedal bring oxygen into the glory hole?
I think it brings more. It looks like it cools down.
Oh, okay.
The glory hole, like it's putting gas into it, or fire. I guess I should say like there's an extra like a bushy torch is being hit into there.
Interesting.
I think it cools it down, dude. I don't even know. I'll find out eventually. In fact, I'll text it to you.
Yeah,
I'll
let me know. I'm
Yeah, I
curious.
definitely will.
Because I've never seen that.
There's the guy that he's like one of the directors there at the school. He's built most of the equipment in the hot shop. So like the glory hole is the furnace and everything.
Nice. Glory
Yeah,
hole is
so-
one of those terms I can't use at Disney. We have to call it a reheater.
A reheater?
Yeah.
Oh, it's too sexual.
Yeah, it can be.
Little kids like, "Mommy, what's a glory hole?"
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's funny. Like it's when I was doing my demos and talking about getting trapping air into the glass and then allowing it to inflate all by itself. I was like, the glass almost blows itself. I said a couple times, and I'm thinking to myself, like, yeah, I got to change how I say that. It just sounds ridiculous.
Dude, there's so many sexual innuendos in glass. I love it.
Oh, I know. It's amazing.
It's great.
It reminds me like Figment that I'm making. His body is such a cock and balls look to it when I'm making him. Like it's like so phallic. When I was first doing it, I was like, I just would feel uncomfortable on making this thing, So I'm not now making a routine when I go work at my warehouse every 2 weeks. I just make a ton of bodies ahead of time so I can just bring them into the shop and heat them up and then finish them. Just
Nice.
I just crank out a bunch of dicks at the warehouse and bring them into work.
Oh my god.
Oh, dude, it's the worst. Like, there's a couple pieces that I do. Like, I actually had a girl one day ask me if I was making a penis, and there was nobody in our store, so I was like, yeah, actually, I am. I wasn't sure what else to say to her. It kind of caught me off guard.
What's the character?
Figment is the one that I'm doing right now. He's a dragon. So, like, the
Cool.
dragon body, just kind of the way the shape of it is, because he has a fat butt, but his butt kind of slumps back to where his tail's connected. And then you have, like, and he stands up on his back hind legs, too, so he's not like a four-legged dragon. But like
Disney's patenting dildos now. Huh?
Oh, dude, they're known for putting dicks in all kind of stuff. Like my buddy Chad, he has a company, little boutique side kind of inspired company called 100 Acre Hood, and he just moved out here from California, and Disney's known for all their hidden Mickeys everywhere, and it's just a fun thing that the artists do. They hide little Mickey icons, or just there's like you can line up like 4 or 5 rock structures in a row, and it makes like Mickey at the helm and Steamboat Willie. Like, it's just fucking amazing how these guys have
That's
this
pretty cool.
foresight. But we met up with Chad over in Epcot one day in the land, and for those that know the land, they used to have a show there that was the Circle of Life, and was like Timon and Pumbaa from The Lion King and Simba talking about the cycle of life in Africa and the animals and whatever. And when you're sitting in the waiting room, the queue to wait for the next show, the inside of the walls has like this, it's kind of like a carpeted mural, and it's the cycle of life, everything from like the flowering whatever to pollination to the actual plant itself. And we go up there and I see Chad, and we hug it out and whatever, and like, hey, nice to meet you. And he's like, I'm like, so what are you doing up here? He's like, oh, I'm just checking out the hidden dickies. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? He's like, come check it out. And the show's closed now, but you can still see inside the queue, and I shit you not, I'll never be able to see it again, but it's literally dicks and vaginas and fallopian tubes is what it looks like now that I'm an adult looking at this shit. So we take like a selfie in front of the wall, and it's like these big fucking dicks on the wall behind us. It is impossible to not. I'll put a picture up on the show notes, a little link to it for everybody to see. But it's so funny now. So now we're like going around looking for hidden dicks in Disney.
Yeah, I definitely want to see that. That's funny.
Oh my god, I'll see if I'll text it to you now, where I forget. But oh man, it's so fucking good. Shit just cracks me up all the time. But I'm going to actually make a note, because I'll have to go through my pictures, and that might take forever to fucking...
Yeah, you don't got to send it to me right now.
Yeah, well, I'm just making a note because I will forget. So, yeah, dude, so that being said, I think it'd be a good place for us to take a break here. We're talking about dicks and stuff. And,
Yeah, right? All right, yeah, dilly.
and thanks some sponsors for helping out with this show, and then we'll be back, and it'll be time for us to crash the kiln.
Fuck yeah.
This episode of the Wise Guy Radio Show is brought to you by The Flow magazine. Since its inception, the focus of The Flow has been to provide a bond among members of the lampworking community. In every issue, you can enjoy great content with the hottest artists and cutting-edge techniques using the latest industry products. These features, along with the continuation of our Women in Glass edition, Glasscraft Emerging Artist Awards, inspiring gallery showcases, dynamic general interest articles, as well as health and safety information, make The Flow the leading international lampworking journal. For more information or to subscribe to The Flow, go to theflowmagazine.com. That's theflowmagazine.com. All right, man, we are back. So the Crash of the Killing round consists of 7 questions. You can give me a 30 to 60-second answer and expound upon them as we typically do here. And the first question I always like to ask, which is always a tough one, is if there's any living glass artists that you want to work with and collab with and have not yet done it, who is it and why?
Essentially, man, anyone. Honestly, I don't know. I look to a lot of glass artists. Like, I look up to them, and they inspire me to be a better glass artist. I just love collabing. I love making art with my friends. Anyone,
Yeah.
You're near Jersey, dude, hit me up. Let's blow some glass. Let's just make some art. I don't care if we sell it or not, and keep it. Let's blow glass.
Do you have any favorite particular artists that you look up to or are inspired by their work?
Yeah, for sure. Brandon Martin. He is hands down
Yeah.
my favorite glass blower. Pipe maker specifically, and artist, all in all. Him, Alex Tuba, I love his big there's neon light sculptures.
Mm-hmm.
Buck, I mean, he's just a fucking animal.
Yeah, man. What's funny with Buck is he's one of those artists that really stays under the radar.
Oh yeah.
You know, which
Dude, whenever he posts something, I freak out. I'm like, oh, what is he posting right now? You know what I mean?
It's interesting. You know, as an amazing, talented artist as he is, he's just does his thing up in the fucking woods.
I love his work. So
Yeah, it's incredible.
yeah, he's a wook in the woods blowing glass, huh?
Yeah, pretty much, dude. Super fucking talented. But Brandon Martin too, man. He's one of my faves. He's to me he's one of those well-rounded artists that dabbles in a lot of different mediums and does a lot of things that I've wanted to do, like make toys and stuff. You know, like I think it's pretty fucking badass.
Yeah, like he can make niche things pretty much, and then he can be like, oh, I have this big bronze casted rhino with fully sculptural mixed media alien riding it.
Yeah, that's what I was going to bring up. Like that's one of my favorite things he's ever done, and I saw it in
Same
person
here.
at down in West Palm or whatever that museum gallery is down there, and God, it's just fucking.
I think the piece's name is Ursi or something.
That sounds right.
Ursa? Yeah, something like that. That's my favorite piece he's ever made.
Yeah, man, it inspired me. Like I started doing these Native American heads, and I was making like real headdresses for them, just for fun. And
Hell yeah.
it was just one of those things. I was like, it's cool, and I think that's what's so much fun with our industry is just there's so much talent and inspiration. It's freaking awesome.
It's like I don't know. Yeah, for sure.
Hell yeah. So number 2 is, what are your top 5 favorite colors in glass?
Top 5 favorite colors. Amber purple is number 1,
Hell yeah.
hands down. Jeez, I don't know. Fucking. Let's see, we got amber purple, mystery aventurine, slime. Honestly, sunset slime has been a pretty favorite one of mine right now.
Huh, never used it. Never even knew it existed.
Yeah, CFL slime. It's like it goes from regular slime to a pink slime, pretty much.
Gnarly.
Yeah, it's a really cool color. It's super buttery. I like it. Shit, I don't know. I just buy like random shit when I get glass. Oh, I get amber purple every single time I buy glass, though.
Hell yeah.
So that's definitely number 1. I always get jet black, Mm-hmm. I feel like you always have to have black. Shit.
You got one more.
One more. I don't know. Clear.
Okay, there you go. Works.
Shit, yeah. Oh, well, actually, could I use a fucking hot shop color? I'd have to say
Yeah.
Adventurine, dude.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. That's I did like a switch axis and combo vase with that color, and that's one of the most beautiful colors in glass, I feel like.
Yeah, it looks amazing over like cobalts and those kind of things. Like it's so pretty.
Yeah, I just did an overlay over clear with it.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah. It's really cool. I don't know, I love it.
Yeah, and it's easy to fuck up.
Oh yeah, my last piece of the year. I fucking flopped on itself in the glory hole, and that was a mess. That's a whole nother story.
Did you touch like the inside of the glory hole?
Well, no, I was making I was gonna make a big bowl because I need a fruit bowl, and I was in there and I'm talking to my friend Patty, and we're sitting here blowing glass. She's assisting me, and it's already pretty thin. I look over and it's getting floppy. I'm like, oh shit, open the door. And as I go to open it, just like the lips caught each other.
Oh
and,
yeah.
Yeah, we saved it. We ended up like reworking it and then just turned it into a floppy bowl. So,
Nice.
But it's got this really disgusting looking overlap on the fucking top. But I'm not trying to sell it. I'm gonna keep it. So.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Add it to the collection of misfit glass.
Yeah, dude, I have like too much glass everywhere. It's just a dust. It collects the dust. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It really does. Like my kitchen table is full of vases right now. I feel bad. I'm like my roommates can't really sit there and eat. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's funny.
I don't know. I give my friends glass and they're just like, Jake, stop giving us fucking glass. Like
Drill some holes in them, man. Make some bongs out of them and sell them.
Yeah, right? Honestly, I could with some of them.
Yeah.
I need to sell it. I haven't really sold any of my hot shop stuff. I don't know.
Huh.
Like I said, I'm terrible at marketing. I just like blowing glass.
Yeah, I get that. Number 3 is what's your worst injury in the studio?
I mean, I guess it would be this one because I still have a scar. I was doing mushroom pendants. Like I was probably like 6 months in on the torch. I'm definitely under a year. I'm doing mushroom pendants. You know what I mean? Where you just have a stringer and you're jamming it in the clear.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And it was way too cold. Snapped off. The whole color went into my thumb.
Mm.
And sitting there dangling, and I pulled it out, and I had glass in my thumb for I don't know half a year. Had a lot of problems with it, but ended up pushing its way out. Now I have a gnarly scar there.
It's
Yeah.
amazing how your body rejects that stuff.
Dude, it's insane, and like it'll be out of nowhere. You're like, oh shit, that fucking hurts all of a sudden,
Yeah.
and then your body just pushes it out, and I'm like, wow, cool, thank you, human nature.
Yeah, it's so weird. I had a piece of my foot for like 2 years probably, and I could never get it out, and eventually it like ate a hole in my foot, like where the glass
Oh.
just like dissolved itself and had like a little cavity. Yeah, it was really
Oh,
strange.
damn.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
like
that
right in
is-
the pad of my foot under my toe, kind of area. So yeah, I have like
That's a miserable place to have some fucking glass.
yeah,
Oh,
it
man.
was. I was a dumbass though. I didn't wear shoes for like 2 years. Like literally, didn't wear shoes for 2 years. Like I'd go to the grocery store. I didn't give a fuck. And he included working in my
Nice.
buddy's studio. And Daniel, his studio was in his basement, and his basement was exposed to the outside. So like the front of his house was underground, but the back was like wide open. Because of how the slope of his yard was.
Right.
So he would just like knock his bubble trash off into his fan. It would blow. I mean, I don't know, it was like the craziest shit ever. So like his backyard was like a minefield of fucking glass shards and shit. And
Oh my god.
I was always barefoot everywhere, so yeah, always had glass on my feet. I mean, I'm in my
I had a
studio
couple
now
homies
barefoot.
I had a couple homies that did a couple years of barefoot too. That's funny.
Yeah, I recommend it. Mine started after high school. I went down to the Keys for 6 weeks and didn't wear shoes. And this parking lot we had was like a oyster bed shell kind of thing, so like my feet got pretty tough. And from that point on, I'm like, oh, I guess I don't need shoes anymore. I got built-in soles right now.
Hell yeah, you callus up your
Yeah.
feet like a motherfucker.
Yeah. It took me probably 5 years of going to get pedicures done for them to grind that shit off.
Oh man.
And now that I wear shoes for the most part, I have nice, smooth baby feet,
Nice.
except for my heels.
Yeah, I wear some shitty shoes all the time. I need to get some good shoes. I only own one pair of shoes and they're falling apart. Yeah, that's the way of life, I guess, right?
Yeah, good shoes in the studio, though, are definitely important.
I mean, I sit down at work on the lathe all day, and then when I'm in the studio, I stand, and I feel it in the studio. Because I have flat Vans, you know what I mean?
Oh, that's the
Falling
worst.
apart.
Yeah.
Dude, I know, man. Trust me. And I have a bad knee. I had knee surgery in 2013. And, like, I never took care of it after that. And, like, I have problems. You know what I mean?
What was it, like orthoscopic shit, or was it ACL or something?
I tore my ACL skiing. And so I have a cadaver in my knee now.
Okay.
But, yeah, it fucking sucked. But
Yeah, if anybody out there that has any kind of knee issues and you get it surgery, follow up with physical therapy, because I did the same shit.
Dude, definitely do it.
Yeah.
Because I regret not doing that, and I regret not taking care of my knee after the fact. And saying that right now, I should probably do some fucking yoga or go for a walk. But you know what I mean? Just you gotta take care of your body, man. Especially when you're blowing glass, dude. Even if you have ventilation, you're still breathing in fumes. You're still breathing shit in. Like you're around glass dust in your studio.
Mhm.
It's like you gotta take care of your body, eat healthy, take care of yourself.
Yeah.
And I'm one to talk, dude. I smoke cigarettes. I like,
Oh man.
whatever.
Really? The fuck?
Yeah. I need to fucking. I'm 24. I'll figure it out, I guess.
Man, it's 2019. Almost.
Yeah. New year, new me, man. Here we go.
Yeah. Yeah. Get off that shit.
I know. No, I need to. Trust me. I tried quitting a while ago too, and I went to the vape, like the Joel thing, and that just made it worse. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, well, if you just tell yourself that every time you put a cigarette in your mouth, you're putting a pacifier in your mouth, or you're like Linus carrying around his little blankie all day, then maybe you'll quit.
Essentially, that's what it is, dude. 'Cause
Oh,
have them on me 24/7.
That's how I look at it, man. Look at it. It's like it's
Yep.
a little security blanket. It helps to cure boredom, and actually, he's gonna
That's very true.
slowly killing
and it
you.
helps. Yeah, and it helps stink you up too.
Oh yeah,
Kills
yeah,
your sense of smell. Fucking
yeah, man. If you like
hack
to,
up shit all the time.
yeah, absolutely. You can't taste food the same. None of that shit.
No, that's yeah. Damn, dude, you're making me upset now. I gotta fucking quit.
Good.
It's like, damn, I feel like shit now. God.
If you're a smoker out there, you're a fucking moron.
Facts, honestly. I gotta quit.
All my friends that smoke, dude, I'm like, if y'all want to quit, let me know, because I will drag your ass for every day until you fucking quit. They're like, dude, that's gonna make me want to smoke more.
Dude,
I'm
I
like,
used to be like that too, and then I started smoking, and then it was like,
yeah. I just grew up around it. Like my mom
oh
smoked.
shit, you're cutting out.
Oh yeah, you cut out for a second too. You still there? Hello, hello, hello.
Hear me?
Yep.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay.
All
I just heard myself in the feedback.
Cool.
But yeah, man, like I grew up with my mom smoking most of my childhood, and when I went to go live with my dad in middle school, I didn't really realize like how bad I stunk every fucking day going to school until I moved out of there and actually had like non-cigarette smelling clothes. So yeah.
Did they smoke in the house?
Oh, my mom did. Yeah, she didn't give a shit.
Yeah. That
Yep.
shit'll stain your walls too, man.
Oh, dude, it's so gross.
Yeah, like the walls just are like caked with like a yellow film.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, wow, I'm gonna throw this pack away.
Attaboy. It's gonna suck for like 2 weeks, but you'll get past it.
Yeah, longest I went cold turkey was probably 3 months. I've been smoking for a long time. Not a long time, I guess, but
Yeah.
7. Yeah, whatever. My bad. Yeah.
Just don't replace it with M&Ms, because then you'll get fat.
Yeah, right. I'm a very like jittery person too. I'm very ADD, so I feel like smoking cigarettes definitely helps me. But now it's just like the nicotine's there, and I would have to find an alternative. When I did cold turkey, I used toothpicks, man. I was chewing toothpicks like a motherfucker.
Huh.
And that worked. It definitely worked, but I don't know. I ran out of toothpicks and then I started smoking again.
Yeah, it's that whole hand-to-mouth habit kind of.
Yeah, it's like the oral fixation of it, you know.
Well, stick some dicks in your mouth, I guess.
Yeah, I'll hop in the studio, make some dillies, and just walk around with a pack of dillies. There we go.
Couple broken teeth later, you're like, yeah, definitely. I'm glad I quit.
It's like, oh shit.
Oh fuck! Off topic here. All right, back on track. So, yeah, so got the worst injury out of the way, which fucking sucks. And yeah, so in the studio, do you? We kind of covered it already, but do you listen to the radio, watch TV, or do you do both?
I don't watch TV while I blow glasses. No, we don't have TV in there. And any of my students who never had TV. And I don't know, I feel like it would distract me if I'm like doing the same thing over and over and over and over all day long. Yeah, I could probably watch TV, but yeah, I don't do that. When I'm at work, I listen to podcasts for sure. It helps just keep the day moving, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And like I listen to your podcasts. I listen to Tangentially Speaking with Christopher Ryan. I fucking love that one. Joe Rogan, of course. Your Mom's House with Tom Segura and Christina Pajinski. A bunch. I got like a lot. But and then when I'm at my shop, I listen to music for sure.
Nice.
Yeah, it helps to. I guess it depends. I don't know. Sometimes I'm quiet, just when I don't put anything on, or I'll start the morning off with a podcast and then put some music on. And, I've been really into jam bands recently, the past few months.
Man, watch out for that Grateful Dead, man. They will change your life.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I've been on a heavy kick of Pigeons playing ping pong right now.
Nice. Never heard of them before, but I've like listened to it before, but I've heard the name of the band before.
Yeah, if you like jam bands, man, you should definitely give them a shout.
I'm gonna write it down. Pigeons playing ping pong.
Yeah, they're out of Baltimore. Yeah, I don't think they tour out west, but they tour out east. Yeah, you're in Florida,
Yeah.
I was supposed to be going to see them in Philly, January 25th or something. They're playing like 2 days in a row.
Nice. A podcast I could recommend for you. I was turned on to. It's called Stuff That'll Blow Your Mind.
Stuff That'll Blow Your Mind?
Oh, dude, it's fucking awesome. No, it's called Stuff to Blow Your Mind. And
here, let me write that down.
Yeah,
my bad. What is it? Stuff to Blow Your Mind?
Yep. Yeah, and
right,
they have a variety of shows. A new one they just started. One is called Invention, which I started listening to last night. But yeah, like the last episode I listened to on the stuff to blow your mind was on. They did like some Christmas themed versions, so that it was on the virgin birth, but it was on animals that can reproduce without sex, basically, which is called parthenogenesis is the term, and it was fascinating shit.
Yeah, what the fuck? I'm definitely gonna give that a listen.
Yes,
Shit.
dude. Yeah, it's cool. Some of the shit they talk about is like really fucking out there, but like they did a whole series on the Ark of the Covenant and how it could have been a modern day at the time warfare kind of made type of thing, like because I guess it created some kind of electricity of some sort. Like,
Oh,
yeah,
damn.
yeah. It says, what if the Ark of the Covenant was actually a Bronze-Age machine capable of storing an electrostatic charge?
Oh, what the fuck?
Yeah, it says almost certainly wasn't, but the idea is a great excuse to explore the understanding of electricity in the ancient world. So, yeah, it's like, again, like I said, it's literally the show says everything what it is about. It's stuff that'll blow your mind. You're just like, what the fuck?
How long are each episode?
They range anywhere from an hour to a few hours.
Yeah, that's definitely the type of podcast I like listening to for sure.
And then Invention has 5 episodes they just started with, and the first one is on the invention of the vending machine.
Nice, very nice.
Yeah, it's
That's my worst nightmare right there, dude. I eat like 4 bags of Doritos, 75 cents each. I'm like, fuck it, dude. I got a few bucks to do this.
that the vending machine is what started my downward spiral from going from having almost a 6-pack to now I have back to my little bit of a gut again.
True.
Yeah.
Eating candy?
Well, I would hit the vending machine, like, because I would have my long drives when I was doing my commute to St. Pete back and forth. So, like, I would hit the vending machine and get, like, a 3 Musketeers, and then I would get,
True.
you know, and then, like, they started selling, like, a full package of cookies in them. So I would, like, buy a whole pack of cookies for, like, $1.25. And, like, Oreos for me is, like, the worst thing ever I can have. Like, I can't, Oreos and candy corn are 2 things I cannot have ever again in my life.
Dude, that's how I am with Skittles. If there's a bag of Skittles in front of me, they're gone.
Yeah.
And like, oh my god, dude. And I wake up the next day, my mouth hurts. I'm like, I feel like shit.
Yeah. Shit and rainbows.
Yeah, literally, man. Shit.
Yeah. No fun. Man, we get all kind of off topic here. It's fun.
Yeah, my bad, dude.
No, I'm instigating it, so it's all good. Talking about dicks in your mouth and shit and rainbows. I mean, fuck, this is an awesome episode.
Yeah, we're getting real 2019 up in here.
Yeah, totally. So number 5 or whatever number we're on is if you could describe the sound of glass cracking in one word, whether like the actual sound of it or like a metaphorical, feeling that it creates in your body, what would it be?
That was it.
Oh, okay.
Fuck. Like, you know what I mean? Just
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like definitely not a good sound to hear.
Mm-hmm. I made that same noise the other day. I'm working on this big ass paperweight for a guest, and the base of it was like the thicker part. And I put a punny on there and got everything cleaned up and in my kiln, and it was just close enough to my door where it wasn't fully hot, and I just heard that chunk. Yeah, so I made that noise out loud to myself, and people probably heard me. I ignored them.
Yeah, that's the worst, man. It's the fight, especially when I'm in the hot shop working and like when you're going to take off that punny, like take your punny off and like crack it off. I've been like getting better at not having this issue, but still I have this issue. It's like you go to take it off, punny's too cold, so then the bottom of your piece cracks, and like every time I'm like, I hit it once, I hit it twice. All right, so I grab the paddle, hit the back of the, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Hit the back of the pipe, try not to crack it, and then it just checks around the whole piece, and I'm just like, just throw it away. Fuck, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Oh, man.
What took me a while to get used to was just the sound of the glass popping off the moils when we would have them in our bucket as they would cool down between demos. And, like, even the guests would hear it, and they're like, oh, my God, what just happened?
Yeah, right.
And
It's like a little silica grenade.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, exactly. Let's see. We got the glass artist, colors, injury, sound of glass, shit in there. So I guess there's 6 questions. I don't know, unless I'm missing
I
one.
forgot we were doing these questions.
It's all good. That's the whole goal. It's So the last question is, what are your top 5 favorite tools in the studio to use?
Word.
Besides your torch and your glasses.
Word. Yeah, I guess I have tweezer jacks that I've been using for the last like 4 years, 3 years, man, probably 3 years. And I made them myself out of tweezers, and they're awesome. I don't like using a reamer that much.
Mm-hmm.
It's so it flows, wax them up, flow it. So my bad, I'm like tangent here.
I was about to start singing the song like wax it up, spin it, rub it down. Oh no, whatever that. Oh,
but
yeah,
tweezer jacks. My Elmarver, love that fucking thing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really use a lot of tools. I guess my tweezers. I got my hand torch, my little Smith Little, which I just fucking broke the tip on the other day.
It sucks.
Literally 3 days ago, I dropped it and I stepped on it.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm pretty upset about that. I don't even want to talk about it actually, but I get a new one. What is that for?
I think.
It's for. My bad.
Tweezer jacks, Elmarver, hand torch, regular tweezers. Yeah, one more.
Yeah. Kiln, dude. I mean.
Cool.
Yeah, you gotta blow glass with a kiln.
There you go.
Yep.
Yeah, minimal tools is always a good thing.
Yeah, I mean, I have like my paddle, my reamer, a couple reamers, and then some diamond shears, but the ones I just said are what I use every single time, at least when I'm on the torch.
Yeah. That was a goal.
Well, not quite my hand torch, but still.
Do you find like using the hand torch in the shop was a good crossover from the hot shop, like from hot shop to hand torch to on the lamp working studio hand torch?
What and using a hand torch in the hot shop?
Yeah, just like in general, like not really using a hand torch for what we do on lamp working wise, but just having a hand torch in your hand while you're working with glass. It's just a weird. I don't know. For me, it was a weird thing at first, but I got used to.
Yeah, you're talking about using it in the hot shop.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I like it. Honestly, when I'm in the hot shop and I have a nice little hand torch there, I enjoy it. I think it's nice. If my pipe's getting too cold or my moil's getting too cold, I'm like, dude, fuck the bushy torch. Let me raise this thing real quick. You know.
Yeah.
Or you're doing applications. It's like I feel like doing applications in the hot shop where you have your hand torch there. From using my hand torch in the flame studio so often and like putting horns on pieces, melting them in and shit, being able to know how to do that and then coming to the hot shop, putting an application on, I feel like it's made it way easier to really have an understanding of that.
Yeah. I guess that was kind of what my question was leading towards.
Yeah, my bad if I.
Oh no, you're good.
Yeah, my bad.
It was a confusing question, so it's all good.
I'm bad at answering questions in general either. It's probably why I'm just failed out of school. So.
Hell yeah, dude. Well, before we let you go here, if you want to give us a little bit of a parting piece of advice, and then where we can find you out there in the world of cyberspace.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Keep doing you, man. Just if you're passionate about something, whether it's glass, whatever, just do it. Manifest it. Just get motivated. Nobody else is gonna do it for you. You're the only person who's living your own life, so fucking do it. And make art with your friends. Motivate your friends. Push them. Lift them up. Criticize them. Just don't put them down, obviously, but yeah, stay humble, I guess.
Yeah, it's important.
Yeah, for sure. Just be the best you and blow glass.
Hell yeah. Good shit. And where can we find you in cyberspace?
Yeah, Instagram, man. I deleted Facebook a little while ago. It's too much social media for my brain. So, Instagram, Jake Spins Glass. Just all one word. Yeah, that's me.
Sweet.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Well, yeah, dude. So, again, hang on till after I'll say the outro here and whatever.
Yeah, dude, thanks very much for having me on here, man. I've been a big fan of the show and everything, and hell yeah. I really appreciate it. Yeah,
me too, bro. It's fun to have a multifaceted glass artist on here besides, just being a pipe maker, someone that's, I mean, you're literally covering all the bases from the the torch to the scientific to the hot shop. So it's the only thing you're really missing is stained glass or fusing or something.
Yeah, I can't get into fusing, man. It's too slow for me.
Yeah, I don't like doing things that machines do for you, kind of deal.
Yeah, no, for sure.
But I have respect for it, so don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
I
absolutely, dude.
admire it.
Glass is glass. I love silica.
Yeah.
Fire it up.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, thank you again, man. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. And I hope you all enjoyed this episode, this little early on chit chat here, and kicking this new year off on the right foot. And so I hope we enjoy the rambles, and these rambles will continue throughout the year, and with lots more fun episodes coming up. But in the meantime, definitely go check out Jake on Instagram at Jake Spins Glass. I'll have all his links and information in the show notes for you guys, as well as a lot of the links that we talked about, from the Corning glass barge to any of the glass artists that we brought up and what have you. And until next time, stay happy and hydrated and comfortable in your studios. Have a wise day. Talk to you soon. Peace. This episode of the Wise Guy Radio Show is brought to you by The Flow magazine. Since its inception, the focus of The Flow has been to provide a bond among members of the lampworking community. This has been accomplished by developing relationships with the finest artists and sharing their techniques with you through in-depth, step-by-step tutorials. In every issue, you can enjoy great content with the hottest artists and cutting-edge techniques using the latest industry products. These features, along with the continuation of our Women in Glass edition, Glasscraft Emerging Artist Awards, inspiring gallery showcases, dynamic general interest articles, as well as health and safety information, make The Flow the leading international lampworking journal. For more information or to subscribe to The Flow, go to theflowmagazine.com. That's theflowmagazine.com.
You're listening to the Wise Guy